Lét được à?
Bật livestream, chuẩn bị watch party.
Hết rồi. Fuck, mấy kia gà vãi lồn.
Bom à?
Thế mà sao chúng nó thắng anh em được mẹ em được 9-3 bên tấn công nhỉ?
Hiểu.
Lớp công mà lớp thủ. Không phải đừng chỉ trích anh em quá.
Vì con mẹ biết gây mà.
Ăn đi. Chờ chi, ăn đi chờ chi.
Nghe tiếng nó rồi.
Ở đâu?
Không biết ở đâu anh ơi.
Ưu tiêu lên đi ra. Nó shop trước mặt này kìa.
Hello anh em. Hôm nay khét gì? Đậu má, mấy thằng kia bắn gà bão ồn, nó đéo hiểu sao.
Bearing with me, but after the break, we're going to dive deep, into global esports and vitality. And as always, you already know what I'm going to say. We'll see you on the other side.
Vitality. Hello Danh. Trời ơi, thắng game này có gì đâu mà chúc mừng anh. Thua một map mà thấy ngu lắm rồi. Hello Minh Quang. Phòng tập trong cây trống á. Thằng coach nó bị ốm cho nó vào trong phòng một mình cho nó đỡ lây mọi người. Hello Ricole. Hello Trung, hello Vinh.
Because they have lived up to the name of their organization, Mimi. They have pulled players in from all over the world.
That they have, and they've had a very interesting way of creating this team. They didn't pick players by role or by history, but just by who do we know that's good, who do we know who can perform, and we can build them into something new. And with that mentality, like you say, they went truly global. They have Indian players, Canadian players, Japanese players, Laos, Indo players. This is truly probably the most international roster we've ever seen.
That guy.
Yeah, I mean 100%. It's just the most diverse roster that we have. I mean, especially when you consider just languages spoken. So it's going to be really interesting to see how they did this. They kind of just went for like a little bit of a money ball. They said this guy's got good stats, this guy's got good stats. Now let's take them and let's mold them.
Đến sát giờ thì visa của nó được chấp nhận rồi nên là nó được bắn. Hello Sam. Nay mình chán á. Hôm nay thắng bọn kia 2-1, kiểu thua bọn kia map chán rồi.
Led by Indian representations, Indian owners, be here as well, because that means a lot to that region.
We have a lot of teams that mean a lot to a region, but this one is India's team. Well, it's an international project. It's going to be the first time that we see Indian players debut on an international stage in Valorant, and that means a ton to that fan base, which is pretty big in Valorant, is just kind of untapped thus far in the competitive scene.
Yeah, and it's amazing that that is the case.
Cái đẹp phết nhỉ.
And one of the players we definitely want to highlight here.
Mày xui em. Bọn này yếu vãi lồn này, mày thua map đấy trông ngu vãi lồn. Kể cả đến map Icebox bắn nhiều pha trông mẹ đần đã rồi.
Oh, it absolutely is, but he does have at least a little bit of international experience. Hasn't gotten to play on that stage, but you'll go all the way back here in these clips to that LCQ of 2021 playing online, and SK Rossi took the world by storm, and he had myself and Paper Thin, our jaws were on the floor with some of the things that this guy is able to get away with. He was playing the Jet and was just looking absolutely phenomenal. There's a reason why the ownership has such a, so much faith in this player, but also why he's got so many fans back at home, because he is incredible. Yeah.
Yeah, he really is. This guy is going to be the face of India for this roster, and is also going to be one of those very, very strong individuals that we're looking at to be a player to watch here.
Yeah, so of course, when we talk to the community as well about, the team's philosophy heading into lock-in, right? SK Rossi actually said that, what we happen to do is we give everyone every role, even, he's
Global cũng mạnh ấy. Không tệ đâu.
And it's just about knowing whether or not you can adapt in those situations. And I would say that's a bold move, Mimi.
Yeah, I mean, the starting 5 players on this roster, 4 of them are historically Jet players. So they have really had to dig deep and teach pretty much everyone on this roster a brand new role here. I think the only consistency will be Aaron. This roster was built around him, obviously experienced from his time back with XSET. Here he's going to have to be the IGL that's working with a lot of players where this is their first time on the international stage, and also with players where they're playing a brand new role. So it's a lot of change here and a very different philosophy for GE.
Well, I'll give you a moment to fix your hair there, but you know what? For more, though, I think on this very unique team, and I'm so glad you mentioned Aaron, let's actually go ahead and hear from Aaron and SK Rossi.
Người ai sẽ bắn Duelist Texture.
Hello everyone, this is Ganesh Gangadhar, also known as SK Rossi, and I play Valorant for Team Global Esports. My role is initiator in the team. Our org name or team name is Global Esports, but we truly went global with our roster. So it's like we have a player from Canada, we have players from Korea and Oceania and Indonesia, India as well. So we might be from different places, but we're all gamers and we have similarities between us. But when it comes to cultural differences, it doesn't feel like they're from very far away.
Đâu anh em vào đây hỏi kèo à? The fuck guys? Ở đây không phải chỗ nghiện bet bụng các bạn ơi.
Trying out random agents. Finally we came to a conclusion and now our roles are fixed. But having all duelists in a team is, I think in somewhat ways it's really good, because if you have like really good mechanical skills, really good aim, all the other things you can build, like agents you can learn.
My name is Jordan He. I play for Global Esports and my in-game name is Aaron. I'm the IGL of the team, and one of the main reasons I took this role is, I don't think a lot of people would go to another continent by themselves, not having any friends, not really knowing, the management or... Traveled a lot around the world. I've studied, and worked in 7 different countries, and when I got offered this opportunity from
Không thả người sinh em ạ.
It was just so enticing for me, because one thing that I'm really confident in my ability is to build teams, in and outside the game, like build a family culture and just ultimately improve. There's very few teams I joined that we immediately become the best in the world, but I've done it across 2 different games where we've won North American titles and where we've traveled to major championships, and I don't think it's any different in this case.
Me performing in these big events, me winning tournaments, me winning games here, it's gonna be literally boom in Indian esports. It can be inspiring for the next upcoming, millions of gamers from India. We have a huge population who likes to play games, and I am in a position where I can inspire them to play games and get better.
Coming into this tournament, there are many people that underestimate our team. I feel that for sure. Just gonna be frank, don't really care what the predictions are. I want to make sure that this event in Brazil, we show our best, we play to the best of our capabilities, we have fun, and at the end of the day, we're using every opportunity to get better and better.
Lots of cool things to take away from that one, and I think also Aaron just saying, I pride myself in how I build teams.
Yeah, and you can tell that he really has been developing a family culture. I've seen these guys interacting at the hotel, and they do really feel like a group of friends that have been together for a very, very long time, despite the fact that it's only been a couple months.
It seems very similar to the culture that he's already helped to build on XSET, now coming over to Global Esports as well.
Yeah, man, it's almost as if those XSET guys were just all a bunch of good noodles. Of course, let's move on, though, to our next roster. And, of course, we are talking about Vitality. It's a familiar esports org for many. And it is a new roster, but they do have familiar faces here, Mimi.
Yeah, this is a team where their mentality, well, a little different than Global. It was picking out an all-star IGL in BenQ and building up young, newer EMEA talent around him.
Another one.
Something new for the squad.
Yeah,
Cảm ơn Hùng Nghen.
because that means you're just putting investment into the future.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't mind a development roster at all. I mean, we've seen it work in multiple esports. We've seen it work in Valorant. But it does put that much more pressure on BenQ. We often talk about this when you have that lone, maybe 2 veterans on the team. You have to be the ones to be able to guide these younger talents as they get out onto this giant stage when they have that crowd in front of them and make sure that you can temper their their stress levels and whatnot.
Yeah, well, and I'm glad, Mimi, that you mentioned BenQ at the start and then building the lineup around him, right? Because this is a guy who, he's really looking for redemption. He's on that redemption arc. 2022, not the best year for him, but here he is in 2023. New look, new roster, lots of opportunity.
Another one of these players that I think found an early peak. We talked about him earlier. He won Champions 2021. After that was pretty much MIA in 2022. So now coming back into this roster, this is a guy who has already hit that highest peak, has had the goal that most Valorant players consider to be the end goal of winning champions. Now he's gone back down to VRL and is focused on rebuilding something new to re-reach those heights, which I think is a fantastic mentality.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's what you want to get. When you get to that peak, you want to make sure that you can achieve it again. It's just like when you play ranked, you might hit diamond that one season, then it resets and suddenly you're in platinum. It feels terrible to not be able to get back into diamond. You have that grind, you have that mindset of wanting to get back there, and it's the same for BenQ. For me as well, I just want to see if he can do what some of his former teammates on Ascend make it through to that next round. We have seen them fall. Stars, though, Zeke not being able to make it through. So far, it's only been CNED, so we'll see if he can join them there.
And then, what you're going to want to lean on if you're BenQ there is these young players, these guys that you're going to try and mold to create this super team. And one of the players that I think we should definitely focus on here is Mulsi, right, from the squad, because who knows, right, what this guy could bring to the table here. I know
Hâm mộ là gì anh em? Cái này này, hâm mộ là cái gì? Nghe giống như kiểu đi máy áp lại áp.
That was Molesy and Destrian, and for Molesy, he's a guy who has had quite high expectations for a long time. Playing in the VRLs, he's been fantastic as an individual. He has a very flexible agent.
Mình tưởng là áp trò chuyện.
His first time taking his debut on this international stage, and this wraps back to the point around BenQ. They have the talent here, but it's
Bây giờ với
another
Faker mà có chuyện
roster
buồn
where we get to see
cũ.
what they can form.
Biết làm tiền mà.
Fresh faces, of course, right? You hear me? With so many fresh faces, I think it's important to note that there's a great opportunity for us to go ahead and meet this squad and get to understand them a bit more. So to get a closer look into Vitality straight from their 2 stars, here's BenQ.
Anh tin Hùng ạ.
Let's go ahead and take a look.
Hãng quần áo.
Hi, I'm BenQ. I'm the in-game leader for Team Vitality, and we're here in lovely Sao Paulo for the kickoff tournament. Mostly is for Water Walker. He makes impossible rounds very winnable for us, and then again, he's the guy who secures us lots and lots of rounds. He's just a crazy Polish frog. Destrian is our smokes player, and Destrian brings this calmness and patience to the team. Then we have Senders or Sentinel player. When we're practicing, when we're playing official, nothing changes in him. I don't know how. He's just always just himself. He's kind of a shy guy. He has some funny twists in him. And then from Big, we picked up our future superstar Tristan as our Jet player. He has this aura of energy around him, and he's the guy who's in officials always brings up the mood. Also mechanically just does some crazy things.
Hello people, I'm Tristan. I'm from Czech Republic. I'm 19 years old and I'm a professional player in Valorant, and I'm from Team Vitality and I play as a duelist. I think with our playstyle we can be prepared for any playstyle we face, because we had a lot of practice, and I think we are really well prepared. This team is not full of all-stars or any famous players, but we have team that is full of good teammates, nice vibe, really good talent. Scary team, just scary team indeed. Spam in the chat V for victory and support us. We really need it for sure.
V for victory indeed, and I just love the confidence that this team carries with themselves, Mimi.
Yeah, it is really, really good to see. This team, it's clear that they have been waiting and prepping a long time to get to this moment on the international stage and that they feel ready for it.
Yeah, I'm pumped to see both of these squads take the stage. But, you know, earlier in the show, we put up a Twitter poll. We asked you guys, what is best quality in a teammate? What do you look for when you go into your ranked games? And the results are in. Let's see what you guys decided is the most important thing. Aim one.
Nói chung là trận này thì Công Anh không biết, nhưng mà nói sao ta, nhìn vào tỷ lệ thì có vẻ trông kiểu hơi khinh Global Esports, tại vì Vitality nó không mạnh đến thế, nên Công Anh nghĩ là kèo này GE có cơ hội. Anh dùng con này thế nào á? Cũng được em ạ. Anh thích nó chỉ vì là nó to thôi em ạ, nó to anh di thoải mái.
Oh, that sounds absolutely wonderful.
It's miserable to play against.
I had a teammate every single round, every single time he was like, I'm just going to get a Marshall. We're like, why? Come on, man. Help us out. Help us out. But look, guys, I know everyone's pick'ems got absolutely rocked yesterday. Thanks to Team Secret. We love you guys. I'm proud
Hồi
of you
trước
all.
biết bắn không anh á? Là sao hả em?
Let's go ahead and get
Tyler.
into our predictions. You know what? Why don't we all reveal at the same time?
Sure.
How about that? Does that work out? Okay.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. And
hello, India.
GE fighting.
G logo. Okay.
Phải lồn farm.
Now that I'm done.
Phải lồn farm. Caster cũng farm.
Two teams that we both know have very strong
Anh
players, but
không nhớ
don't have
tới
a
đâu.
lot of experience on the international stage and are kind of
Đúng rồi.
making their debut.
Không, nhưng mà lab đấy là khác em ơi. Lab đấy là lab Ấn Độ. Còn lab giờ là international rồi.
A big upset either way. I probably favor Vitality slightly, but I don't know. This is going to be a close one.
For me, if they have gotten the roles figured out, I think Global should be able to take this one. I do agree that it can be close, but there is a lot of veteran players who have been competing in Valorant for a very long time that have experience playing on large stages, such as Bazzi playing over in the Overwatch League for multiple years. Now he comes over into Valorant. He's been a cracked player. He's shifting over to Initiator.
Mình nghĩ là Secret cũng mạnh đấy.
If the pieces are there, if they come together right, G can take it.
And I think that is more or less like, I know all of us are, you know, having fun, of course, welcoming the Indian audience into our broadcast because we're excited to be able to extend Valorant out to the rest of the world.
I'm welcoming their positivity into my Twitter page, which is why I made that poll.
Exactly. All right, guys. Well, look, before we kick off Lock-In for today, let's go ahead and talk about what's next on the international stage. As we previously shared, the next international event will see top teams from each of the international leagues travel to Tokyo for Masters. And today we are excited to share that Tokyo will feature a 12-team double elimination bracket that will include not only the best unpartnered teams, but best partner teams, excuse me, but top competitors from China. Reading is difficult. And of course, don't forget, we'll all see additional representation from the International League that wins the lock-in today, or at this event, which means it's going to be an intense conclusion to this tournament, but we cannot wait for Masters. But today, 4 teams enter this Royal Rumble and only 3 will leave. Who's getting thrown over the top rope? Let's go ahead and find out as lock-in day 8 starts right now.
Oh. Bây giờ anh em ơi, anh em đừng hỏi mình về kèo cục gì cả, mình không biết đâu. Ở trên điện thoại á, đây nó có cái bạn ở bên dưới, ở bên dưới có phần dấu cộng á. Bạn ấn vào đấy hoặc bạn có cái link này này. Ôi, mua OnlyFans luôn à? Xong game này nhảy coi. Ôi hey. Global là tổ chức Ấn Độ bạn ạ. Ngon chết. Trông mẹ thằng Bazi trông chiến vậy còn.
Will it be V for victory or GE fighting? Two unknown commodities taking the stage. Unsure what we're going to get here today. Could very well be an absolute gigabanger.
Ronsky có việc bận nên là không tham gia được.
Looking to try new things and grow here in Sao Paulo.
And trying new things is exactly that. You have two
À,
ideas.
thằng này có quả mẹ mày Akatsuki ở cái gì nhỉ? Đúng ta? Cái môn câu ấy nó có quả cái này Akatsuki à đúng không? Đẹp ấy.
They still huddled together, talking about the game plan, likely saying, let's keep some cool heads here. To all that younger talent, GE looking like they are chomping at the bit to go into the map draft.
Map select is a complete question mark. GE
Oh, yeah.
has not played at all in the offseason, and they'll ban away Ascent. I guess that's the map that they're not so interested. We have no idea what they're going to want to play.
I mean, there's so many different components to this team coming across, from different rosters.
I love it.
That we can't really ever get a read as far as what they are going to be going for, but they're actually going to give a split.
It's going to be interesting. Again, we have the questions of who's going to be playing the duelist on this team. What roles are slotting in? Will we see a raise? Who's going to be picking that up? GE is a complete question mark. Vitality,
Ooh.
more of a known quantity. They've played in the offseason, and Pearl was
Vitality
their most
pick
played
attack
map
Master
5
Split.
times during the offseason. They looked fantastic on it, but that wasn't the old meta. Chamber's been nerfed now. I would expect something new compositionally.
Yeah, to see, have either of these teams, especially for the side of GE, given that they're so new, have they been working with things like Harbor, the things that are so new into the meta?
True.
That's another question I have.
What are they inspired
I was
from
about to
from
say.
Alpha?
Đúng rồi, có AD trước cho chị xem em ạ.
And they must because they're floating it as the final map.
This is wild.
I hope we get the second two maps. Anyway, this is the 3 newest maps added to the pool. This series is going to be very, very exciting because we know about the philosophy out of game for both these squads. But is there a
ADG có thắng được trong tip không? Khó lắm, Mino.
Do they play a slow split like when Def was calling their attack sides with one player lurking and so many 4-1s into mid? Or do they come out with something new? How much will we transfer over from old versions of these teams?
And I'm really leaning on Aaron as well as Boncold here, right? The veterans, the leaders in the field. They're going to be the ones that there's a lot of pressure on these guys, right? And Aaron knows that. We've been talking to him a fair amount here, while we're in Sao Paulo, and he's just got a great head on his shoulders.
I mean,
but here we go,
look
Prime
at the
Gaming Agent
hovers.
Select.
That is the most played agents for GE. You can see everyone's a duelist player but Aaron.
3 raises on the side of Vitality as well, but Texture, okay, you asked the question, was anybody going to be playing Raze here for this team? We're on split, so of course they're going to. So Texture's going back to a pick that we have not seen for a very long time. I looked it up.
Ôi trời ơi.
Upper bracket in the playoffs against Spear Gaming. but he's only played it 17 times compared to 118 games on Jet.
Twistin and Molesy both on this double duelist composition. We saw that work so incredibly well for Loud. It absolutely dominated against NRG. For a new team, that can be difficult to shut down. I'm interested to see how GE answers.
Let's just do quick predictions real fast. Who's winning map 1?
Vitality.
Vitality.
I'm gonna go for GE.
Oh, the desk is split up here. Well, I hope that our casters are ready to go, because here's the thing. We're all set up for map number 1. So let's go ahead and send it over to our casters. My brothers from another British mothers. We got Brennan Sideshow.
Monjet giờ là smoker, Monjet giờ là smoker mà bạn. SK Rossi là easy initiator, Monjet smoker, Irene flex, Texture là duelist, Bazzi cũng flex kiểu vậy. Anh không chọn được map không ạ? Anh chỉ chọn được cộng 1,5 thôi. Map khó nói lắm, tại vì nó cân, anh nghĩ trận này cân.
Of global esports, pooling together these duelist players, seeing what could work on this big stage as well. Where
ambitious project.
These top players into a top team.
Yeah, and then it's the ambitious project from APAC coming up against a dark horse team from EMEA.
Yeah.
It's not like Vitality is star-studded in the sense that we all know these players, they've all accomplished so much. There's Bonecold, obviously, who we'll talk about in a bit, but I think the actual talent on the roster is super high. I think it's interesting that the desk is split. I would say Vitality are a little favored here, but there are just so many unknowns, it's very difficult to call anybody a strong favorite. We don't know how these rosters are going to perform. But I do think if Global Esports is able to come out with a win here, it says more. It's more of a validation for their project, and it gives you hope that these like massive global rosters where you're trying to overcome language barriers and cultural barriers and getting all of your players in the same place, and you know, SK Rossi only just getting to play with the rest of his team and meet them because of visa issues. They have had to overcome so many
visa issue.
That a win here today would be validating for the whole project.
Validating would mean so much for all the players, obviously, but in particular as well. I mean, a name you mentioned, Josh, SK Rossi, this guy representing India, being the pride of his country, honestly, playing on the global stage like this. And there's been many moments where he's described, you know, the arduous path that he's had to even get here in the first place as a player.
Yeah, he's such a confident guy. But when you listen to his backstory, Global Esports did a documentary on him recently that was fantastic.
I'm rooting for GE as well.
Talking about how he didn't really see his parents too much during his childhood because they were working so much to put food on the table.
I don't want to see.
He randomly decides to go to a gaming cafe one time and then realizes, hey,
it's not the doctor. No, it's not the doctor. Yeah, it's another guy, not the doctor. No. That's the Amy guy something.
I mean, making a deal with a gaming cafe for some free time that he would just stream voluntarily for them in order to get free time because he didn't have the money to play. And then his winning
Artisan, Vaxi.
SK Rossi is the definition.
Come on, bao giờ thì mình được cầm con SC1. SC1 quay lại trên tay ta.
His story, and he does have the weight of the Indian subcontinent on his
Manager em không ạ?
But I don't think that has amounted to pressure for him. I think
700 anh em đang xem cho xin một like vậy ạ. Cổ vũ cho GE.
And now we are ready to get into it. The pistol round here, map number 1 between Global Esports and Vitality. No time being wasted already. A fast take up towards A ramp. There's a flash play as well to push them back, and no ground really being gained as of right now. Trailblazer used in response to that one. Looks like a boom bot also going to be queued. And look at the fight that's being taken. A call made, an aggressive one at that to try and push through the smoke and collapse onto the Vitality players, but they hold their ground. They do survive.
Global Esports really trying to find a timing, but Vitality were aware of it.
No heal.
Quite nice control.
Cypher mà chết là thua. Ngoài bắn kinh ấy, Sender bắn kinh ấy. Nhận order thì mình thì nhiều mà, nhưng mình không muốn nhận order, mình không muốn mua order các bạn. Mình muốn mua có sẵn á. Oh shit!
Oh, the players are weak. Beam them down. A single clip was all that was necessary.
And 10 HP on Molesy with the spike.
This is more than winnable. Aaron really slowing down this round as well. Didn't overstep himself.
Bất cẩn quá, tại vì thằng ấy là B, người bắn B mà. Không ai nhìn ven cả. Ồ, bắn trượt kìa, ông kia bắn trượt kìa.
Multi missing a shot to the snake bite. Oh my goodness, pushes Multi away for but a moment. That's a fight want to be taken. Aaron. Moving forwards, making a lot of noise though. Multi
Thua rồi.
very aware that he's not playing there, but the positioning is known, and now a nade pushes him forwards, running down, 65 health, but run and gun is the play.
Dễ quá. Này kia bắn phát vào lại bắn trượt hết luôn mà.
IGL player, team captain for them.
Let me more bắn cho AQ.
What a great way to begin. Aaron leaning on that confidence to win a 1v3. The Red Bull clutch coming in there. But that was a tense pistol that could have gone either way for sure. And I think Split is such a great map to showcase Aaron and Bone Cold's strengths, the two IGLs of either team. Because Aaron's new to the IGL role, but he used to call the defense sides for XZ. And Split was an amazing map for XZ, an amazing map on the defense side too. So this is comfort zone for Aaron. They're also even playing a comp that looks really similar to stuff that XZ ran in the past. And you look over at Vitality, sure, Bone Cold isn't on the Omen anymore, but this is the same comp that Ascend used to run when they were at the top of the world, the best team in the world on Split. Times have changed, minutes have changed, and we get to see which team and which player, which IGL's idea comes out today.
The bold beginning for Texture. Maybe expecting that he could have gained some control of A main, but pays for that with his life. Does hand over that Spectre as well to Twiston now, so Vitality didn't invest too much into this round, only just, I believe, just the Sheriffs, it seems like, across the board, but an exchange of weapons as well, and players that might be a little bit healthier, and okay, fight being taken, Bone Cold, he's
Biết rồi, lộ rồi. Phách mẹ mày phách còn phải chết nữa. Nhất vô Bonco.
Global Esports are going to be aware that this is a fake play into B. Obviously, the side already being taken. SK Rossi going to be hearing all of this, including this plant going down. So now it's up to Global Esports to react in kind and see if they can surround.
It's a very open plant. And also, look at the deliberate cage that Sender put in the middle of the site. I assume this is for Twiston to play around later on in the post.
Bit of a kill trip there.
What?
What a shot! You've got to be joking. Just absolutely rattling them off one after the other. There was no trade in sight, yet still, dangerous task ahead. What can they do with a weaponry though? Got to hold this one down. And Neural Theft already revealing the positioning. SK Rossi moving across onto the side, but he has fallen. All down to Aaron once more. One player isolated, but
Ê đi 6-0 luôn mẹ ơi.
And at the back of the site, the crossfire was there. And honestly, just sheer heroics coming out of these Vitality players to just manage to turn that round into their favor.
Oh, it's all Sender, isn't it? He's 6-1 right now. And the double kill on the players trying to retake is everything.
6-1, hai địt mà hai thằng chơi với nhau.
Sender is incredibly talented. I was watching his games, been watching him for a while.
Sender là CNET.
Breach on a full Lithuanian team, and then he's, you know, gone over to play Chamber very recently, and now on the Cypher. He's played a lot.
Sender có phải CNET đâu. CNET đang ở Navi mà.
Server right now, but people like Texture and people like, you know, Twiston or Molsey will certainly give him a run for his money.
Just containment here for Vitality, looking to see if they can.
CNET phải bắn mẹ dẹt dùng ray dùng các thứ em ơi.
Just trying to see if they can collect any more kills, and they're making it incredibly aware. Vitality able to just hold these off.
Hot.
And that's rough.
Play for start.
From an ultimate now, and considering that this has been, you know, a weird situation where Vitality win the second round, it actually delays the rifle round by at least one. Right, because Vitality are now gonna, you know, it's gonna be round 4 by the time we get a proper clash. And that means that Molsey has an extra round to get a big ultimate online that he can use to turn the tide of that fight. So I think things are starting to look a little worrying here for Global Esports. If Molsey can get in a good position, and considering that they've got, you know, 2 Phantoms, a Vandal, this next round, Global need to win it.
Chịu em Percy ạ, mẹ giải này chắc không có thời gian bắn rank rồi. Hẹn em mùa sau vậy. Mùa này trông bận quá. Ôi trời ơi. Đây Rin trước Xset. Mon chết trước là ở cái lồn tí nhở. Onyx. SK Rossi nó vẫn ở đây mà.
Hype up Sender, because according to their coach, listen, of course he's going to say this, but he said that he's currently playing like the best player in Europe.
SK được bán sinh rồi.
His own words, obviously quite biased.
Sounds like he's gassing his own player up, but I also think that there's probably a shred of truth to that, because Sender does look fantastic in the run-up in the off-season prior to being picked up. This is a massive round though.
Yep. Dash across.
SK Rossi bắn set chả.
Hoping to try and take that angle, but Twiston. Oh, look at this.
Ui, nhanh vãi luôn à. Oh my god.
They were aware that Aaron was going to use his ult in mid. Obviously now Aaron and Monya are not in a great spot, but there's no
BCJ bây giờ là Evil Genius đấy bạn.
tools they can use to help them get inside the pit.
Maybe
So
the plan was for Twiston to try and backstab here because the rest of Vitality have been lurking, creeping and crawling all the way up into B main, and that's going to be Q for the ultimate here. Slow orbit to feed a multi, and no one is going to be on this site, so thinking a couple of layers ahead here.
Ui.
That is important. Twiston.
Nhầm thế à, Mon Jet.
He's going to be backing away with his life plan, starting to go down now.
Sao đặt bom xấu nhỉ?
Second time that Monya has pushed through a smoke and taken an unfavorable fight. Bazzi though responding, takes down Sender, who's been a menace in some of these rounds. Twiston is miles away from the action if Global Esports can hurry this one up, but the Sage Walls are just delaying everything.
Yeah, the cross section for it, and no one really aware of it. Destrian does move over to the other side of the wall, but a double
Một câu làm gì vậy?
down onto high
Ôi
low
kìa.
setup. Destrian had to TP back onto to try and help him out, and Multi will be falling, but time running low now.
Một câu làm gì vậy?
His dash enabled, moves forwards. Trying to contest this one in a 1v1, but Aaron, he has to stick it. The percentage play, he needs to.
Anh em nhìn thấy một câu không?
Sets up Twiston.
The fuck?
Slam dunk win.
And just think about
Do you know how to shoot?
if Twiston had been dealt with and cleared out of ropes when they knew he'd gone into there. They were aware that Twiston was somewhere around. Possibly they thought he escaped after he got up to heaven, but I would have thought that Global Esports could keep a better track of the Jet player there. Interesting pathing from Vitality early on, and it pays
Trông ngồi chơi này.
for them in the post play.
Ngồi chạy tử anh. Ôi vãi cả lồn ngồi chạy tử co hai chân lên ghế á. Oh my god.
Comp should be great on the defense side, and they're going to be looking down the wrong end of a 1-4.
Đúng rồi, texture này trước ở đêm quân.
The heroics coming out from their IGL Aaron.
We'll see a timeout.
Mình nghĩ mình phải bật sẵn một cái YouTube anh em ạ. Để có gì tua lại cho nó dễ. Trông ngồi chơi này. À, xem phát buôn câu à, xem phát của buôn câu à. Trông à. Trông đặt tâm bị còn mạnh mà đùa. Thao, pro player kiểu này thao. 2 tháng rank vàng rồi em. Thầy giải đáp hộ em sau những thằng như buôn câu, sâu cát và được đấy thế. À thì nó là mùa đầu tiên ấy Mino. Kiểu mùa franchise đầu tiên ấy. Đến mùa thứ hai là tất cả những thằng cút hết à.
Vitality, I mean, smell blood in the water and you realize that Global are a little shaky to start a match. You got to hammer that home.
Yeah.
JBL Quantum.
So far in this match, what I have been noticing is there's a lot of presence towards.
Diamond là 6 tháng không ơi?
Heavy emphasis being
7 tháng. Anh hy vọng thế Suka.
Doesn't seem to be changing things up too much in this round, keeping it simple for them. Paranoia, Twister moves forwards and the one and done position.
Địt mày ném smoke fake, bố mày đéo dash. Bố mày ném smoke trước nhưng bố mày đéo dash. Có ai chưa? Ok, Percy ơi. Chuột em anh vẫn để đây, ngay trước mặt anh này. EC có dây. 2 kill.
How best to play these positions.
Ui giời.
Punish there. He's trying to take the play. Texture.
Wow.
Tries to make the most of this one.
Clean.
Again, just can't withstand that kind of pressure when he's up against the rifles.
Nếu mày xem giải không cẩn thận thì cả Scream với cả Nivera sang cabin cọp đấy. Bắn hôm đầu tiên đấy. Anh muốn làm nhưng mà khó quá em Percy ạ. Anh muốn bắn sớm làm quen chuột sớm. Và playoff bắn cho nó đã.
But actually, Vitality's comp, one of the big reasons why this used to be a meta comp on Split is that it has a lot of variety in where you can play around the map. It's good for bursts.
SK Rossi bắn ngắm ở set.
However, Texture's set up in B heaven, and it looks like Vitality this time.
Cái lộn
They
mà.
towards mid. They'll just use Sender's.
Anh đang tìm, anh bảo là anh muốn có EC1C wireless mới để anh bắn đấy, nhưng mà mãi chẳng, nhưng mà không có.
A bit of raw spam, yeah, straight through the smokes.
EC3 nào?
Trying to lurk up behind it. Trailblazing gets good information, and there's SK Rossi, head taken clean off from Sender. Trying to catch that lurk, but obviously his positioning was known prior, and speaking of heads being taken off, Munyet needs to play a bit more carefully there. Paranoia, dash forwards from Twiston, a play to be made from him perhaps, but he's now stuck in this position, and there's going to be that showstopper. That was a direct hit. What in the Lord's name am I watching?
Boncold's attempting to create some pressure in B with this Sage Wall, hoping that it opens up the middle of the map, but it hasn't at all. With Sender dying and with the Sage Wall being placed from Rossi,
Anh né mà anh có mua đâu.
Global Esports can completely flush out this hit in mid.
Yeah, man, they know exactly where Destrian is as well. Pure confidence on the side of Global Esports. No wasted moments from them. Smoke across the cut. Forwards. Destrian, no, up close and personal.
Vậy là ông Owen này cũng vãi lồn cơ, nó vừa nhặt ngọc mà. The fuck. Nó vừa mới nhặt ngọc mà.
0 and 4 coming into this round, and they get 3 kills between them out of the 5. SK Rossi using the utility from Bazzi to flush out Sender early, and then Monye just spamming through the smoke, gets this first kill, and then playing around the smokes quite nicely, but really like the way that Rossi has picked up the operator, flushed out Sender, and used the Sage Wall. Good utility usage.
Nó chưa có ở đây mèo đen ạ. Chưa có ở đây, có Công Anh đi mua ngay. Nghèo đói cũng phải mua được con chuột chạy tử chứ đúng không?
Switching up the positioning as well, because SK Rossi now not playing towards the A ramp area, but that is where the majority of Vitality are. So what is
Okay.
Random spam coming through, slow orbs, multi already into the back of the side. He satchels up on top of the box actually, holding this angle yet still Aaron anchoring into the back of the site, flash to push them back.
Một câu chết, đéo có hồi sinh.
Aaron out wide. It was capitalized on by the Vitality players. You can see that Sender have managed to get themselves in, and that plant will go down.
That's unfortunate because the Viper
luck.
Big clash in row.
Who's a better lucker?
Find his timing in mid is going to be so important right now, and he does win it out. He stays alive.
1
causing issues for them and still
2 3 ôi.
Just a little bit too late and still it is crumbling.
Đi vào hai núi đi để tín quá. Hai núi đi để tín quá. Mình muốn mua nhiều thứ lắm nhưng mà mày kiểu bây giờ mình kiểu nhìn thấy nhiều brand ấy, kiểu nhìn nhiều brand mình thích lắm nhưng mà đi mà nó đắt vãi lồn đấy. Có cái bàn phím IQ Nix gì ấy, IQ Nix ấy, nhìn trông đẹp vãi lồn, thích vãi lồn. Nhìn giá 5 triệu mấy sao ấy, vãi lông. Hai mai mình ngồi chạy tử như nó nhở. Mình thích mấy con kiểu như thế, cực kiểu con mấy con đấy ấy, nó không có màu mè, không có gì hết ấy. Nhưng mà nhìn trông đẹp lắm.
That's nice. Yeah, that is quite nice. Just to set up SK Rossi onto that angle. But SK
Rossi 4 câu là in game leader. Thằng Tristan này ngày xưa có một đợt anh thấy nó nổi. Chứ mà tài năng trẻ, tài năng nhiều mà, tài năng ở cái Valorant này nhiều vãi lồn luôn ấy. Em làm custom được này các anh. Mình không thích dùng đồ custom. Tại vì khi mà mình được thiết kế, mình chẳng biết mình thiết kế cái gì cả, mình không thích.
Wait a second. Did Rossi put a terrible Sage Wall in B main that Boncold can just jump over? Yeah, he did.
Yeah, there's a box behind that you can just jump over that.
I didn't realize that he connected it to the box so that you could just jump up. That's an experience on the agent showing there. Obviously, Rossi playing a new.
Ôi!
Oh, and that's where you don't expect him to miss. Normally so talented.
And look at this.
Thì mấy con EQDX này nó giống khác thì Ducky đâu. Ui, mồm kìa.
My word. Stray shot. Bazzi dropped
down
110. Spray down. He is low.
Ôi!
Yeah, no way. From that kind of range, but Bazzi was weakened. And Aaron seems to be aware of this play that was occurring. There you go. Click on the head, and there we go. Find the kill. But it is just left up to Aaron, and maybe getting a bit flustered now into this 1v2.
10 máu mà Shotty cũng chết rồi.
Doesn't want to take the fight. Just makes it nice and awkward. Not giving any easy 1v1s
Save rồi.
for Aaron to be able to take to try and win this one.
And now Destrian gets a sound cue as well as Aaron goes up the rope. This is an almost unwinnable situation because Vitality just haven't given Aaron anything to work with.
Quite aware of where the positioning could be. A bit of spam. Isolate the fight. Yeah, just not wide enough. Well, shorty up close.
Hai thằng Dulit để bắn tín quá anh em ạ. Hai thằng Dulit bắn tín quá. Hai thằng Dulit để bắn tín quá. Độ ba. Chung là nếu mấy cái đồ nói về mấy cái đồ custom thì nó bao nhiêu tiền cho đủ hả anh em? Mình nhìn thấy có những thằng nó dùng custom mười mấy 20 triệu có hết mà. Cho mình thích bàn phím đơn giản, nút nó kiểu bàn phím nó cao ấy, tức là kiểu từ cái mặt bàn nó lên nút bấm ấy nó cao ấy. Tại mình để nó nhẹ, mình bấm nó, mình thích nó cao. Với cả thích bấm nó có tiếng. Nên là mình nghĩ là đi tìm mấy con có sẵn vẫn thích hơn.
In that round in particular, it's the way that
Anh nói rồi mà Hùng.
plays the B main situation just scrambled them a little.
Đúng rồi. Mình nhớ có một thằng nó cũng bảo là Shorty mỗi mạng Shorty nó sẽ donate tiền từ thiện 25 đô á, mình tưởng 5 đô mà nhỉ.
It's just been that consistent uphill battle for Global Esports so far in this half.
Global are going for a gamble stack on A, but when you don't hear anything early on, I don't think it's likely to be an A here because
4 câu bàn ngắm ạ. Come on, don't do it, please.
fairly consistently.
Đắt đập đầu vào tường. Ôi trời ơi. Anh bảo cộng 1,5 là có một map thôi mà em Khoa, thông thả. NC Slasher ở BTR Big Gay Chôn. Nào, không play sheet nha em Khoa nhá. Hãy giữ phép lịch sự nhá.
Shutting them all down in mid, and there's a re-swing attempt. It looks like Global Esports want to try and fight this into Sender.
The Cypher ult isn't the best one in the world if you have to feed yourself into somebody. But this is going to be a very easy round for Vitality to clean up.
Wow, trông là chúng nó farm kìa.
I think you can just see the way that Vitality has been built. It relies on pre-existing synergies between the players. So they have a bit of a
14-4, 11-6, 9-6.
Some from Vitality, a little sprinkling of big on the top as well. But they have some players that are familiar.
Chuột quan trọng thì tiếng hay là cái gì à em? Chuột quan trọng nó phù hợp form tay mình hay không á. Cái đấy mới quan trọng. Vẫn thích xem Monjet bắn Duelist hơn. Nói chung ở đây là điều bạn phải chấp nhận. Khi mà bạn vào một team mà bạn cần người ta thì bạn sẽ không có quyền lựa chọn. Với cả là mình nghĩ là chúng nó cũng phải thử qua hết rồi. Ai sẽ là người Duelist hợp lý. Nên là chịu thôi. Set chỉ cầm hồi sinh đi đầu ạ. Ô, dễ. Hồi sinh. Rồi. Khi bạn đứng ở Viper Pit, bạn không nên đi vào mấy cái góc. Đấy là mày lời khuyên khi mà bạn đi ở trong Viper Pit ấy, bạn không nên đi ở mấy cái góc. Khôn vãi lồn này, cái này. Khi mà địch bắn thì tech này, thì chỗ nào là chỗ địch có thể spam được, là chỗ đặt bom đẹp đúng không? Ôi. Khôn này. Hay này. Đấy, đánh giá là qua những cái chỗ đấy là thấy player thì mày hay hay không này. Đặt bom vẫn đẹp nhưng mà né ra một tí. Một chỗ đặt bom, một phát đặt bom thôi là đủ biết mẹ player trình độ đến đâu. Pha đấy set red xong không giật ta đổi mạng là biết thằng Viper ở góc đó rồi phải không anh? Anh nghĩ là nó biết trong đấy thôi, nhưng mà cái anti đấy nó không được đẹp. Anti Viper bây giờ nó không được đẹp như ngày trước nữa. Tại vì bây giờ nó có một đường rộng hơn ấy. Anh em nhìn đấy, đặt bom ấy, như mình nói đúng không? Nó kiểu là những chỗ. Ôi, cái này hay này. Nói spam nó chỉ có spam được những chỗ đặt bom đẹp cơ bản thôi đúng không? Làm sao mà spam được hết? Đặt bom là cũng phải suy nghĩ mà. Cái việc đặt bom nó cũng... Ui! Cái việc đặt bom nó cũng phải suy nghĩ ấy. Bạn chơi với con set không phải kiểu là cứ chạy vào đặt bom là ấy đâu, bạn phải biết là đặt bom như thế nào, bạn phải nhìn tình huống xem là có thể đặt bom ở đâu. Theo kế hoạch là đặt bom kiểu xấu, nhưng mà nếu mà tự dưng có đột biến xảy ra mình đặt bom đẹp được thì nên đặt bom đẹp. Lúc nào cũng thế mà. Nó phải nhanh nhạy.
No, and they've just contacted all the way up behind. Not sure if they've just heard the Money drop or what, but yeah, as he goes to re-clear it, was just so unaware. Just left out of SK Rossi, he's only got the Bucky, and it's I mean, just full patience. Really, really well
Nghe
played by
tiếng rồi.
Vitality, how slowly they were playing that one. Not willing to give anything away.
And that is a prime game in Flawless. Vitality currently so in control of this game. And we've actually
Ok Hùng. Bom như nào đẹp ạ? Anh em hiểu cái bom đẹp ấy. Bom đẹp là chỗ mà em có thể nhìn, gọi là sao ta, từ mọi chỗ em đều có thể nhìn được. Nó dễ dàng cho việc bắn post lane. Nó có những vị trí đẹp để bắn post lane như kiểu Icebox. Icebox em biết là có cái dây để đu lên ở bên phải ấy, ở Basaya ấy có đu dây ở bên phải ấy, đặt ở đấy. Mình đứng ở bell, mình đứng ở đâu kiểu line up dễ này, nhảy check được này, đấy là bom đẹp. Ở bom A này thì có cái bom ở chỗ cây 4 cây ấy. Khi mà em đặt được bom đấy mà em đứng ở Heaven nhá, đéo bao giờ em thua được luôn. Thật luôn. Thì đấy là bom đẹp. Heaven, bom C, bom gần cái thùng, Silong bắn được, Gara bắn được, hay là ở đâu bắn được hết thì đấy là bom đẹp. Đẹp chỉ đơn giản như vậy thôi, đẹp là chỗ nào cũng bắn được thì đấy là bom đẹp. Bốn câu giết mạng này quan trọng này. 4 câu giết mạng này quan trọng lắm này. Mình nghĩ là 12 rồi. Texture này là một trong những gọi là best jet ở Hàn Quốc ấy. Anh em search tí mình bật cho, nó có một cái highlight bắn dẹt ở map split này thì phải, nếu mình nhớ không nhầm, bắn kinh vãi lồn luôn. Ôi.
perfect timing though from Texture.
Yeah, these
Picks up
timings
center in mid.
are very nice. Final round now. Texture does have the ult, but he rips it out at just the wrong time.
Mình vừa nói 12 mà thôi. Ôi. Địt mẹ, vừa nói 12 xong. Fuck man. Oh shit. Sorry Zenki.
But unless you're on the 9-3 curse hype train, this is looking like a brutal beginning to split. 20 kills from Twisted. And something makes me think he's not going to slow down.
Post. GE push it a little bit close on this one. Some of these players find some big kills, but Twisted again, very late into this round.
Mấy thằng GE này trước bắn thua Blitz phải không có anh? Trước nó thắng bọn mình mà. Ở giải LAN Ấn Độ là nó là line up full Ấn Độ ấy, nó thắng bọn mình mà. 1.200 anh em đang xem nhưng mà mới có 249 like ạ. Fuck man, mình đã làm gì sai? Giá như mỗi ngày mọi người vào ấn xem, không xem cũng được, mọi người ấn một nút like thì nó là điều tuyệt vời. Bọn Trung được cộng 2 vào Master. Đâu có đâu. Cộng 2 vào đây thôi mà. Ai bảo ông nghe cộng 1,5. Mà cộng 1,5 nó có thể thắng pháp 2 mà, đúng không? Hôm trước em thấy anh vào split map công mà thấy mọi người bảo map này thủ mạnh này, hít tí đi anh. Cộng 2 slot master Tokyo á, cái địt vãi lồn thế. Địt còn mẹ mà đúng là đất nước tỷ dân. Thị trường to nhất của khác. Fuck. Anh em nào biết tiếng Trung không dạy mình cái để mình đi sang Trung Quốc chuyện tử cái. Fuck. Mà
an amazing performance, and it was Twisted who said in the interview series we did, that little pre-tape, that their team doesn't have any star players, but might be weaving a different tale possibly on the other end of this series.
Yeah, I think the Vitality players it's definitely a dark horse team, but they may become some star players later on down the road. All right, Global Esports with a big engagement. They've got past Estrian.
Still, they need to deal with this heaven position, and they do take.
Hay này, thắng lục hay này.
Sure that the spacing is good. Winning this one out. Still, Mousepad tries to make the play there.
4-9 làm được luôn này. 4 câu 3 mạng.
Let's get that one. Still texture. It's a quirky position. The double faces, they all drop down. A classic right clicks. Definitely working out for them, and they know where the final player is. Twiston, he's got the most to do. 100 health to his name. Does have that Sheriff. Now just waiting. Trying to see if Global Esports will give him an easy kill. Finds the first, a stun, and that swing is just ever so slightly delayed, but luckily, kill found regardless.
And actually really good trading there. I think the swing from Bazzi, or swinging off.
Thua thế lồn được round thứ 2 này.
There was a trade from Monye that came through.
No way.
Really good. And then also Bazzi swinging at the end to shut down Twiston looked nice. So a pretty drilled pistol round actually coming out from Global Esports. Gives me a little more confidence that they could mount some form of comeback. But they have to make sure that after winning the pistol, they don't immediately fall to the Sheriffs, because that was the story of the first half. Both pistols going the way of Global, but it didn't net them any momentum in the first.
See now just how they want to play this one, because Vitality, there's that double face. You can see Sender just holding from Mail as well while all this is going on. And Util being used just exploded out into mid.
Chó cắn.
A lot of space being gained. Now you see that satchel play. Boombot clears a lot of these angles, and it's up to Aaron to see if he can
lại rút dao.
down this one angle, and he does indeed. There's no one going to be taking him out with any stray plays there. Classic right clicks in order, but Twiston did get a bit of an upgrade in the form of that Sheriff, so that's been dealt with. But the site should be relatively free now for Global Esports to get this plant down. Need to deny, actually. That's going to be perfect.
Chết này. Ui.
You got to be joking.
Safe hands from Rossi.
Thằng này bắn sheriff vãi lồn.
This Vitality team is so cracked with the Sheriffs.
Yeah. Just finding so many opportunities, and they are just making the most of it. One after the other, isolated down to that 1v1 Sender. He's Lodo, has to nail the shot, and to nail it, he does. All the players weakened.
My bad.
And it is just a repeat of that first half. Global Esports, they win the pistol round and immediately lose it to the Sheriff purchase.
It's tragic, an absolute tragedy for Global Esports. They set themselves up for success with a great pistol round on both halves, but they just can't come.
Đi cười bắn vãi lồn.
I mean, look at that. These shots are absurd.
Yeah, they are crazy.
And the final one from Sender is just good communication that the player is weak enough, but Global Esports offering so many 1v1s, and Vitality are super happy to take it.
Ui, đi cười bắn vãi lồn.
Vitality's composition being that much more simpler as well. They can obviously focus much more on the trading. The team plays individual moments.
BenQ's wall here is so annoying to deal with on an eco round for Global. It takes every bullet in the pistol just to get rid of it.
Người lại bảo yêu cầu Công Anh ngồi xem đưa ra nhiều nhận định để anh em còn ngược. Người bảo mình đừng nói gì nữa. Mình biết theo phe nào bây giờ.
The double face just missing Destrin as he was peeking for that information. Sends out that paranoia as well. Slows down a faster play. And Vitality are swarming it now with the rest of their players, making sure that they contain that choke point that was being watched for.
But there's less than a minute on the clock. They don't control any area of the map, and Global Esports are 14 down. They need a Sheriff pick.
Ui. Một câu bắn thế thì hỏng rồi.
Kill gonna be found there just from a stray peek. Backing away, I believe the spike was dropped down to the floor.
Em cho anh đã nói là khó rồi em Hùng, em không tin anh. Rồi, Twitch sẽ làm mấy ạ? Mình xin dự đoán làm 3.
Nobody hard clearing this. That is a whiff though, and the players do clean up, and there is the capitalization. Dropping down. A little bit inaccurate with the aim, yet still Mulsi will nail the shots and clean up the remaining players.
Yeah, Global found themselves an opportunity. Again, just no.
Cái địt mẹ mày bắn như rồng như hổ, vừa nói làm 3 phát là sấy chớ luôn. Cái lồn má.
They'll get there over time, but for now, Global are really struggling to get that second player in behind Texture, or even offer any utility for Texture to be favored. I mean, there's 3-4 seconds before the next player swings there, and no utility to help Texture get into the site. And I feel like that's just been a repetition every retake, every attempt to attack.
Steadily, the wiggle room.
Rồi xong Praise của anti. Địt mẹ mày, cửa này hơi mờ mịt. Người ta có cửa sinh và cửa tử. Đây đéo thấy cửa sinh đâu luôn.
Teams like 100 Thieves. I mean, this Vitality team has got great protocols on split.
23/8. Địt cụ nó bắn 23/8, xong mình vừa nói nó làm ba mạng eco nó bắn chớ luôn. Mẹ mày chắc chắn phải có một điều gì đấy, một điều gì đấy đứng đằng sau lưng làm mình đen được đến mức này.
Backs away on top of it. Multi seems like they're trying to get a read that this could have been the B split. Showstopper. I mean, he's literally just contact playing at the very final moment.
Một máu.
Off into the corner. Gap in the wall means that he'll be able to get back to safety, and damage was done, but no kill claimed onto Bazzi. Could be quite critical. He still has his ult in his
Rồi,
hand.
tuy xe là thằng đưa hai chân lên ghế ấy.
Holding on top of the rope though. Dodge to the side. Good info gained. Now there's 40 seconds left in this round.
Cay không? Đu dây bắn súng ạ. Fuck man.
Put behind into this round. They do get these kills traded out, but the paranoia is going to be again putting a stop to this. There's no fast play behind it.
30 seconds left.
Even that smoke, I think, eating up the flash, and now they're going to be clearing this corner out effectively, dropping down to the floor. The aim not reset enough to take that fight. So Vitality, they earn their way to that 12th round, and now one more round. So it stands between them and winning this map.
So far in the tournament, EMEA as a region has been in shambles other than Na'Vi. But this Vitality team, definitely a dark horse. Looking pretty excellent here though, in terms of the raw talent and the way that they understand the map. So far at Lock-in, it's been APAC taking names, but this one is definitely going the opposite way. Vitality is so in control, and the weaponry is brutal here for global esports.
Yeah, you have to force up into this, obviously. No more opportunities. Looks like they're just going to be opting into that B split. A heavy take into B heaven. Sender, the rifle spray down, just about gets the aim online. Now you're going to see that Viper's pit scattered out cross through the choke point, but no one is dealing with this guy. Just perched up in that heaven position, and Aaron, desperation pushing through, but Vitality, they clean it up. And it just looks like
game hơi dễ nhỉ. Nhiệm vụ của bốn câu là gì ạ? Đi theo hồi máu, chỉ đạo với cả hết game đập tay. Let him cook.
Ngô Công Anh.
Người ta bắn bài bản vậy mà có người dám phán cộng 1,5 V.
Cảm ơn Nghĩa nghe. Trời ơi, Vitality bài bản thì các em phải tập tành chứ đúng không? Đó, đen thôi. Ít mẹ mày 2 round nó bắn save cho hiểu vấn đề luôn ạ. Đúng không? Thắng 2 round lục, thua 2 round sau đúng không? Thề luôn nhá, mẹ mày teammate mình mà ngồi chơi của đấy mình đấm luôn. Sony. Bắt highlight coi Công Anh bắt highlight kiểu gì? Show cái highlight à? Đây đợi tí. Bắt highlight à? Mình không biết từ bắt. My bad. Cảm ơn Lê Hoàng với 10k qua MoMo nghen. Em và thằng bạn em cảm ơn anh rất nhiều. Đi ơi. Đợi tí mình tìm đã. Đây anh em ơi. Anh em sẵn sàng chưa? Anh em sẵn sàng chưa? Anh em sẵn sàng chưa? Are you ready? Are you ready?
Oh yeah, are you joking? What a spray from him. Zumba now shuts down Eugene and what looked like a great start might get turned around. Texture dropping down. The moves are incredible from him. And he turns this fight right on its head. 3 kills for Texture.
Mẹ mà nó ném dao vãi lồn luôn mà. Đi mẹ mà highlight trong giải luôn.
Right side flank gets the kill. Zumba now shuts down Eugene and what looked like a great start might get turned around. Texture dropping.
Không, mình biết thằng này vì clip này mà. Mình biết thằng này từ clip này luôn mà. Cả với Lê Minh Đăng 15k qua MoMo nghen. Hy vọng là map 2 sáng sủa hơn tí, trông map 1 là hơi nhanh. Nhưng nhanh cũng được, sang xem viện sau cho nó cân cũng được vậy. Nhưng mà địt mà nhanh thì lại không có 1,5. Trong tip hay Edward mình á, trong tip rõ ràng rồi. GE fighting. AQ là team của Indo cộng Philippines.
Well, I guess the sheriff came to town for Vitality because they managed to pick up a 1-0 win in dominating fashion on Split. Too soon? Too soon? Let's go ahead and jump into the breakdowns, though. Mimi, I think we all were coming into this high hopes for GE. We were interested to see how the experiment was going to work. But I think Sideshow said it best in the cast, right? It is an experiment. This is something that's going to take time, but that does not take away from Vitality, who just look incredible.
Yeah, GE struggled in this map, but Vitality impressed me a lot. I felt like the coordination between these players was on point. BoneCold had some great ideas as the IGL, and I felt that their implementation of this double duelist comp was quite strong.
Yeah, it really was. And Sideshow also mentioned it to just go ahead and give him some more props. The overall macro strategy, not too bad from the side of GE, but the details are where everything fell apart. You see these sheriffs coming through. Sheriff savants, as we've gone ahead and given the moniker. Yeah. They really just are incredible performance when they have those guns in their hands, when they have any guns in their hands, really. Great consistency from GE to be able to get the pistol round, but it's just tragic that they can't get the follow-up. They can't win the anti-eco, and they just cannot build any momentum off of that. And you have to expect that, especially losing that second anti-eco round, that's just when all the gas just spilled out of the tank.
Yeah, and part of that, I think, is the unforced error of this team is just really, really good with the Sheriff. And part of it is, or sorry, that's a forced error, and part of it is the unforced error of just GE's coordination was off, and they were giving a lot of these 1-versus-1 duels in positions where they had no business doing so.
Yeah, well, let's actually you know, go into our Verizon high-speed moment of the match here, because of course, you know, all eyes are on Mulsi and Twiston in this one, and I think that part of the reason why you have to highlight these two players here, they're coming in hot, they're showing what they're capable of doing, they're shutting down any ideas that, you know, that GE might try to conjure up here in these situations, and this is you know, one of those reasons.
Yeah, I mean, just monstrous performances coming out from these double duelists, as Mimi was just pointing out. They've just been able to perform so well. That reaction time to just get that right click across, instantly scopes in on the screen to just take down Aaron, who was very consistently finding himself as the last man standing. He had that one clutch in the pistol. Unfortunately, we didn't see too many other ones. They just couldn't quite find their shots. They couldn't get those bullets to connect.
Yeah, this is a continuation of the story that we've seen all tournament long, where there's these debutants, the new players.
Mà trên Twitter mọi người đang bàn về mấy cái quả hai slot cho Trung Quốc.
Really begin to show that god aim that we've come to know and love from him. That's actually going to lead us to our pre-map warm-up in the aim lab shoot around here and gives us an opportunity. Words are hard today for me, everyone.
French mode now.
You would think
you've been talking to Carmen Core?
Here's SK Rossi. No. You can go ahead and scan that QR code. But yeah, we're really looking, Seth, for just some more output from him. How do you feel about him on that Sentinel role, at least in Split?
I mean, unfortunately, we didn't get to see too much. We saw him trying to push the operator into his hands, which is normally a very faithful pair of hands to put the operator into, but unfortunately, he was just not quite hitting some of his shots, and I wonder how much of that is going to be nerves. We've heard from other players that had their debuts back at Champions, such as Cong and whatnot, say, yeah, when you do get up on that stage, it is really terrifying. It does shake you up a bit, and I wonder if that's the case here for Rossi, and maybe going into the second map, he'll start finding his groove a little bit more.
He's going to need to, because that first map, the defensive side, I think one of the issues is that he was not finding value with those early operator fights. They invested in it.
Có thông tin live up Việt Nam mình đi SEA Games chưa anh em? Live up SEA Games nó sắp định hình rồi đấy anh em. Chờ thông tin công bố thôi. Tưởng Blitz bảo không nhả người. Thì Blitz bảo không nhả local player mà anh không phải local đâu, anh không phải người sinh đâu. Game này GE lên được 9 đâu nên Pro 200k. Ách chà. GE fighting. Vì 2 lít. À mày sáng dậy, ngủ dậy. À, sáng không phải sáng nhầm, trưa ngủ dậy. 1 rưỡi. Ngủ dậy đánh răng rửa mặt. Đi giặt quần áo. Bắt taxi đi ra trung tâm thương mại 11 đô. Ăn suất mì 12 đô. Đi cắt tóc 18 đô. Đi vào siêu thị mua 2 hộp cà phê gói của Starbucks. Mua cái lồn gì nữa nhỉ? The fuck, mình mua gì nữa nhỉ? Mua một cốc Haiti, hai gói Starbucks hết 11 đô. Một cốc Haiti hết 6 đô. Má mày ngày tiêu toàn tiền đô à? Xong bắt xe về 12 đô. Đi con mẹ mày vãi lồn. Vừa mở mắt ra chưa làm lồn gì cả. Má mày thề luôn, cái sống ở sinh này một tháng mẹ mày mà không được bao ăn bao ở chắc mẹ mày tiền lương đéo đủ tiền ăn. Hello em trai. Đô sinh 16-9, 17-1 gì đấy. Cũng may là mày tiền ăn uống các thứ còn được kiểu hàng tháng cho hàng tháng ấy. Set by Molly Hall. Đúng ta? Có Molly bay tới này. Vèo. Đấy. Pressure on dẹp. Đấy. Ôi. Ai ạ, 4 câu ạ, không có gì bất ngờ cả. Không có gì cả.
Cảm thấy bản thân không cô độc khi chơi co chân lên ghế mặt cười.
Cảm ơn Nghĩa anh em. Sáng sủa này, sáng này, pick up cho nhau này.
Util's going to be bleeding away that time. The Horn pushes him back just to the corner. Got to find the angle that won't be available to him. So Global Esports once again, similar tale to what we saw from the previous map, where they were just winning these pistol rounds with great consistency. The question is now going to be, can they continue that? Can they actually convert it into another round on the back of it?
Global might be the team with the highest pistol round win rate in the tournament to go home in the first round.
2k2 rồi. Hay là 2k3 gì đấy.
They've won 3 out of 3 of the pistols. Surely, this is not going to be heartbreak again. If you look just at the minimap here, I think the danger could be averted instantly. Vitality have gone for a gamble stack.
Rồi thì anh bảo mà nãy thua 2 round lục xong rồi thắng 2 round sau mà mấy thằng Vitality này ảo đét.
Oh no. Surely Global Esports are not overcooking it. I think this is just going to be an A split. They're taking their time early on to set up A in A main.
Yeah. The knife from Mulsi did make them second guess things because that landed very late over towards A main. Faked a bit of that presence, but no, this time the Global Esports players will be just flooding into that A side.
Tiêu ít có được giữ tiền thừa không anh á? Có em.
No resistance.
But also in one of the pistol rounds, or rather one of the follow-ups, we saw the retake just so many opportunities where Global gave them 1v1s and didn't trade.
Playing offside here through main.
But I think this does favor the Spectre system. And the Global Esports players are so clumped up, they can't help but trade, surely.
Yeah, so the knife there not going to be tagging onto the Ash.
Going
be able to get that pull.
What the fuck? Mất con mẹ một súng, 2 súng. Chạy 3 súng.
Sticking onto defuse. Destrian, does he get half? Not sure. No, he doesn't. Tonight that
3 súng.
Spam through this game plan. A little bit all over the place.
4 súng.
No way, not a shot in hell, but time running too low for him to make the most of that one again. So, my word, they do just about scrape through and claim that round. But Global Esports is an expensive one for them.
Mày tí thì nó gỡ được luôn đấy. Thằng đầu tiên mà gỡ nửa là xong rồi đấy.
I mean, these second rounds are absurd.
Yeah.
The decision from Rossi to push the smoke when Monya had already used his pull. There is no chance that anyone is on the spike there. And it's again the small
No, không được race hit nha. Ban đấy. Cảnh cáo này.
They get through it and they're going to force up. So this is not a bonus round. This is just a straight up rifle v rifle round.
Sao em không bắn sen goal nữa? Valorant cho em nhiều cơ hội hơn anh ơi.
So much importance now being placed on this one. Global Esports not messing around, are they? Flooding that util through.
Năm này canh B khổ á, năm này canh B khổ vãi lồn luôn. Đéo bao giờ canh được luôn. Thôi, đi cho 2 ạ. Thằng nó bắn vãi lồn, thằng này bắn cũng vãi lồn luôn.
This is going to be difficult for him. He tapped the spike and just trying to at least hunt out one of the players. So intelligent by Destrian. Doesn't give him an easy task of just trying to hunt him down.
We saw Destrian playing exactly the same on split too. Never offering opportunities for clutches to happen.
Bọn kia bay rồi mà, ra eco rồi, hết tiền rồi.
Twiston is playing like a monster in this game though. He's feasting. And because the trades are so poor from Global, he's just able to take one-on-one, then another one-on-one, and another one-on-one. He always gets the opportunity
Thử đi em Tuna.
reset his spray, reset his aim, because Global are just not quite sharp enough on it.
The kills end up flooding through, but then there's just the one.
Sao ném dao là quét được 5 thằng rồi. Ủa, cây vô phát đấy mà ném dao là quét 5 thằng này. Nói chung là mấy cái thằng smoker ấy là mấy thằng phải điềm tĩnh, không mẹ bắn vì mạng. Vì nó thường sẽ là những thằng clutch. Rank Ascendant thì có cơ hội GoPro không công anh tập êm các kiểu mà thấy vẫn chậm chân tại chỗ. Nếu mà êm của bạn vẫn chỉ ở Ascendant thì hơi khó bạn ạ. Set bắt chu khó lắm.
but also so confident, right? I mean, he's not going to give away a gun. He's got a shorty in his blade.
Nghe rồi thì càng phải ném chứ, tại vì chống rớt mà.
Normally,
Chọn sai đường rồi, Twiston ơi. Ôi, 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 ôi.
He knows they're in art either way.
Fight now. Just being taken and that swing timing around the back. Reset.
Oh.
SK Rossi doesn't get any sort of bailout there. So 2-2 going to be that scoreline early on here in Pearl. Imperative now that Global Esports can regain their footing.
They've got some big ults to work with. I mean, there's nothing really happening in that prior round, the anti-eco, but this is one where Aaron needs to cook up a strategy. They've got lockdown, they've got nightfall to work with. These are big ultimates to apply a lot of pressure. I think Global Esports composition is probably going to want to play towards the A site more often because they don't have a very good way of.
Tự dưng bro kêu sai gì vậy?
The spike leaning in that direction, but I think the question of how to apply B pressure has also got to be asked. Both teams, of course, run in the same comp, so.
Chọn sai đường ấy hả? Thì đúng rồi, thì đến nơi hết mẹ mạng rồi. Chơi 4-3 bị nhòe mà. Nhưng mà mấy thằng chơi 4-3 nó thường để cái setting 2 lên cao lên một tí ấy, cho nó đỡ kiểu bị nhòe kiểu vậy.
Slide off angle now behind this box. There wasn't really an attempt then. He was holding the angle. The crosshair placement was good, but does not get the kill.
Phantom moment.
Yep, dropping him down to 10 health. Someone yet survives, and Global Esports are just picking apart Vitality at the seams is what it feels like. And now it's on Twiston. What can he do? Just a bit of an ego peek there with the operator through that smoke. Gets the one kill. Horn going to be spawning out Multi. Drops down an aid, and Munyet none the wiser
look
in
where,
his astral form.
Look where SK Rossi is here. He's gone all the way through B on the world's longest flank.
They know.
Twiston's watching for it.
Yeah, he's watching for it. Seems to be just aware that this could be a possibility. Angle's being watched. Pop flash play as well for that re-clear. Now time needs to be paid for. Yep, the flash not being watched for. Tap onto the spike, and all the pressure is on. Re-swinging down.
Come for Racho again. Ôi, 5 lít ạ.
Shorty, man.
Oh shit.
Shorty's a strong gun, but it won't save you against that.
Now the line up there from Vitality, pretty big mistake, but an understandable one. Great play from SK Rossi. I was worried that his flank would be either way too late or watched for, because Twiston felt like he had to read the whole time that Rossi was
Đền nhờ.
I don't know quite how Global Esports got read like that, but still, Rossi coming up with the goods. That's the first round where we've really seen him take control of the game.
So back and forth.
Điên à? Ai vì mẹ mày 5 lít mà bỏ hết mọi người như thế được?
Take this A main control. Now that cosmic divide as well. So Nightfall's going to be used as a response.
Mình không phải người như vậy. Momo lát thông cả không người được chi phí nha bro. Ôi bro ơi, có donate là mình mừng rồi.
That is great work from BenQ as well. He had to use that exactly in reaction to SK Rossi's ult. So he was prepped and knew perfectly what he wanted to do.
Thank you bro, rất nhiều.
It does feel like Global Esports have been thrown a bit off balance here because now it's just a scramble. 5 players now grouped up. Can use that Prowler to re-clear deep into B main, but
I would have loved to see Aaron use his lockdown as a fake re-hit onto the A site to allow Global Esports to go for this pivot, but they're making it really noisy. A lot of utilities stomping the footsteps all along, and Vitality are just booking it to the B site.
There's no nuance in this approach from Global Esports. Making all the noise in the world right now. Actually being watched for. And what a timing to take, Munyet. Ripping off the header sender.
Lie up! Fuck!
Just not good enough. A collateral.
Ôi!
One after the other. They try to take the fight, but they will all fall.
Cảm ơn Lê Minh Quang với 17k con MoMo again.
Masterclass in his performance.
Tặng anh sai 1/6 cốc trà sữa, xin phép sập trước. Ôi em ơi, good night, good night. Ui, địt mày line up nó trả lại line up luôn. Cái góc đấy giặt chay và khó lắm. Tại vì góc đấy cây ọp khỏe lắm. Thường thì phải có một quả smoke ở đấy. Còn nãy bạn nào hỏi mình là tại sao Keijo map này khỏe, thì thật ra thì Keijo nó không phải là con mà phải có ở map này, nhưng mà nhiều team nó vẫn chọn là tại vì sao? Thứ nhất là cái map này nhiều team người ta không pick Sentinel là tại vì có Sentinel thì mình vẫn phải cây móc ấy, thì người ta chọn con Keijo. Cây Keijo thì khi mà hai thằng Duelist làm 5. cái con Keijo ấy, khi mà bạn chơi map này ấy, khi mà đánh A, đánh B, đánh mid ấy, bạn ném một con sao ấy, nó sẽ clear cả một side luôn ấy. May mà không xuyên ba. Quả đấy không phải là Keijo ném flash xong rồi thì mới giạt ra, mà phát đấy là ném flash xong rồi, có timing rồi, nhưng mà Killjoy bên này lại đẩy ra thì nó lỡ mất cái đà của quả flash đấy rồi. Thì lúc sau hết flash rồi thì phải chạy ra thôi, biết sao giờ.
He hasn't really found enough opportunities to get involved himself, and Aaron was actually one of their biggest players on Split.
There's diligence there, though, from Global Esports, making sure to jump peek these corners so they debate that op shot. They know the Twistan's playing the other direction. Now the util's going to be sent flying through. That's going to be a Prowler up close. Locked down as a response, though.
And they know that this is going to get value.
Trong BenQ.
BenQ had cleared out the whole of A. However, BenQ running into Monye there does open a path for Global Esports to just pivot back.
Just didn't expect there to be players there, I suppose.
Hai cái anti trả nhau luôn.
Used ever so slightly later, so yeah. Clearing out this side.
Bắn hộ nó con xe cơ.
Someone needs to break this turret. Texture just being
the fuck?
Whistled down to no health at all, but players are weak.
Do they know the Vitality could be in back halls here? Do they know the lockdown?
No back halls control, and that's an immediate punish from that one.
What doing?
Just on a heaven position, he was offered a free shot, but it just about missed this one. Are they going to be able to get this plant down? They haven't cleared these players out of back halls again. Just seeing limits to it, and Destrian, he's caught this flank timing. No one's watching it. So many gaps in the play. And just like that, picked apart. Munyet. One star, has the pull. He can disrupt this one, but so much to do for him. Good timing off it. He is smoked away though, but that's going to dissipate. And it's all on this.
They don't know where he is.
What timing can he take?
Oh!
Has to hit the shots. Reset. Just being
And Twiston hitting the no-scope after someone tries to shorty him.
Yeah.
How dare you shorty Twiston? 15 and 4. And Global Esports just not able to put together a round again. The gap that Destrian exploits is inch perfect. He got into this position because he'd slunk his way, on the flank.
Nó flick này.
Pew! BenQ ran through spawn. Destrian managed to wiggle his way through the shop area. And he knew that Monye wasn't watching it.
Ở Bleed mình là in-game leader.
Just not enough layers.
But also, Vitality are doing such a good job at just abusing.
Cái quả đéo ai bắn hộ con boss thì vãi lồn thật.
It's one thing to know that your opponent's making mistakes, but Vitality are getting the punish every time.
Very intelligent gameplay from them. Another instance now where it is, of course, Global Esports knocked down to the weaker buy. You can't have a repeat of that first map. Said earlier, if they can regain their kind of footing, but so far, obviously, distance between these rounds, 5-3 being that scoreline, it's not too wide.
Check banh nhá. Đây anh check. Sao MoMo của mình nó không hiện thông báo nhỉ? À nhầm, sao MB banh của mình nó không hiện thông báo nhỉ?
Especially if their players were feeling the nerves and that impacted the game and they can get over it.
Wow. Cảm ơn em với 50k qua. Cảm ơn em với 50k qua MB banh em. Ra đấm mồm mấy thằng Sentinel hộ em à? Được. Anh sẽ cố được, anh cố được. Mình có bắn SEA Games không á? Mình có. Nói chung là bây giờ chỉ đợi live chốt thôi. Nhưng mà đội hình SEA Games nó cũng dần hình thành nữa anh em, nên là anh em cũng thông thả.
Side of the map that they want to play. Oh, Vitality are looking like they want to fight really heavily over B here.
This feels like a hard read almost. They see that the Astra wall is available. They're not going to be giving them easy access to the top side there of B main.
And the brutal thing about this, Bren, is that if Twiston scares them away from B, look what Destrian's got for them on A. He's just sat in secret with an Odin, waiting to deny the plan.
With a turret covering his head.
Yeah.
I mean, the setup is just so well thought out right now, and the alarm bot's going to give all the information for Sender to know that they are lurking their way through Art.
Salah and BenQ
Ui,
have been cooking.
cam pro với 5 lít anh em. Chi. Vừa mới đang ra chỉnh. Ra chỉnh MB Banh. Khổ shit. Hôm nay ấm đấy nhở, hôm qua hôm nay ấm đấy nhở.
And Twiston's dropped back into a more passive position where he still gets good info, and that's freed up Multi and BenQ to roam around the map and fill in the gaps.
That's a good knife though. We'll at least deactivate that alarm, but the players are there to just, again, fill up the pieces. Twiston holding this one. Flash, a knife fall. Does push him back. Just absolute ego plays. Fully blinded up with a pop flash, but, well, just some blind fire it seems like. Now BenQ needs to be the difference maker. Because Vitality have dropped like flies.
BenQ!
Absolutely everything, but the shots just do not land still.
Who else? Who else? BenQ!
This high ground position, a bit of spam there with the Odin. Destrian does reveal his position. Left down into a 2v4. Double swing there, and a weapon just not good enough for that job.
Good double face though. That's what we've been missing.
That is what we've been missing, and despite the fact that Sender's crosshair placement was immaculate, not going to be afforded anything else.
I like the pathing from Global there. I think they found a really nice opening through B-Link. But what on earth was Multi doing? Flashing with his knife out, running through the smoke.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a major blunder. And so far, all of the unforced errors have been in Global Esports camp. And that's the first round where we've really seen Vitality make a play and then fumble it completely. But you've got to give credit. The utility pressure from Global was great as they went through B-Link. Yep. They pushed Twiston away. They just also got gifted the kill on Mulsi. Can they string together this one opportunity into a decent half here? They still have this cosmic divide. A B site hit would be nice, but I think Sender's got the read. He's got nanoswarms in the common plant spots on B.
Yep.
BenQ là Ascent mà. Kiyo có anti, Asha có anti retake được.
Trong có dấu nặng đã rescan 10.000 đồng. Hello ca.
Cảm ơn Trọng nghe. Hello bro. Đánh B khó này. Đánh B có tường Asha retake, đánh B khó này. Thằng anh đẩy được lên này.
Oh my god. On the map. So I'm looking for a new co-caster. If you'd like to send in your applications.
I think Pansy's in need at the moment.
Yeah.
Nghe tiếng rồi, nghe tiếng, từ đây nghe tiếng được thì phải. Nghe tiếng rồi thì phải. Nghe tiếng rồi. Nghe tiếng rồi, nghe tiếng rồi. Keijo anti, Keijo anti, Keijo anti, anti, anti.
Surely, because look at this reposition. Close to the corner, Sender's there. And is there going to be util to clear them out? Usually there's a seize that accompanies this push. Lassie does have it. Just push forwards. Shorty's in their hands. Right up in the air, inaccurate, still finding the kill. But they have been pushed back. But a moment now, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me! Oh my goodness.
Rồi xong.
Still they answer back and into the back of the halls.
Con ném nết muộn đấy nhở?
SK Rossi winning it out and does claim that area of the map for them. Down to Destrian. What can he do here? Is anybody gonna be watching for him? Aaron tucked behind the box, just waiting it out. A lot of fights he needs to try and take, but it's all that pressure. There's no way. Good swing time.
Bom xấu đúng nhở? À không, bom không xấu lắm.
Now 2v1. Twiston is running out of time. Exchange there for the rifle. Has one more cloudburst, but that nano swarm tags onto him. 55 health drop down, a bit of random spam. Finds the first kill, but he did not get half on this defuse. Dash enabled. Aaron all the way through. Oh my goodness, almost making the play, but salvaged in the end.
Whoa, that is an incredibly close round. But I think Global Esports.
Mình nghĩ phát vừa rồi nhá, mình nghĩ phát vừa rồi Keijo anti sớm, xong rồi Asha cái gì con phết ném cái hút. Ây da. Phát đấy mà chỉ cần giết được thằng đặt bom là đẹp. Phí ghê.
This fight is about to take place with the operators. Guess what? Bit of a jet diff occurring right there and then. Actually making a name for himself, honestly, as well as that Korean jet player of 2023. And Twiston has been so far an absolute demon in this series, shutting him down early.
6 đều là cộng 1,5 sáng này.
6 đều là sáng này. there are other players on Vitality that can be just as problematic.
Contact reclear. Oh, it's being
Monya's
watched for.
gonna have to control this.
Ôi,
No, the timing there.
vừa vào vừa đến nơi thì bật Astra Form vãi lồn thật.
Dropping into his Astra form, but now it needs to be
Killjoy của anti VTech.
moving all the way forwards. Can he take control in the back?
Ôi, mù bắn chết hai. Ma mày là ai ạ? Đấy là đấng bốn câu. Mù bắn chết hai. Ma.
And out of lockdown, just layer after layer, pushing the players back. Texture just cannot quite get out of there. And SK Rossi in that 1v3, the pride of India, with 25 seconds left, he's put in an impossible task.
We saw Aaron in 1v3 earlier on. To first pistol
There's
round.
one.
Rossi's got the talent.
Fight being taken, but not much time left into this one. Util just being dumped through, and a wall watched for. Destrian knew that time pressure was on, and 7-5 will be that scoreline. Global Esports fighting back in their own way, making it quite respectable.
Yeah, I think that is a respectable half. That's what you're looking for from Global. Apply some pressure. If they can come out with
Gì anh em cũng khó khăn à. Mình bây giờ xem stream thì phải có người gọi là bình luận viên thì nó mới thú vị đúng không? Và xem một trận đấu chay có gì đâu. Uầy, thì mà nhìn cái phần donate chat thì nhìn thấy chữ 1M. À, nghe ấm đét.
Global Esports, you waited a long time to see your players up on this stage. You know, how does it feel to finally see them play? I see you guys down there supporting them as well.
Yes, it feels amazing. It's crazy. We didn't think we'd get this far, but here we are, playing on the biggest stage in the world.
Yeah, I love hearing you guys cheer for them as well. All of the GE fighting coming on as well. What do you make of their performance so far? That was a really close half.
Yes, it's been okay so far. I know this is usually how the team starts, so even when they're scrimming, the first map is usually the slowest and then they pick up pace. It's looking so far so good. I think we should be able to pick up and take this map out and hopefully take it to map 3.
Oh, you have faith?
Yes, I have to.
Now, if you could, you know, talk to your players right now, give them a little bit of motivation, what would you say to them right now?
Oh wow, it's easy. GE fighting.
GE fighting?
Yes.
Anything else? Because I feel like a couple of them looked a little bit nervous in the beginning, but they're really picking up the pace now.
No, I think they're okay. A lot of them have experience on stage before, and the people that I was worried about are Monya and Texture because they haven't played on such a big stage before. So I think they're doing pretty good. I think now the team is just getting warmed up. They'll be good.
We're going to get to a map 3. You're promising me this. You're confident?
If not, I'll get you a jersey.
Oh, I'll take it. Okay, let's get a GE fighting at home for the fans that are watching.
Okay, perfect.
GE fighting!
GE fighting!
Yes!
And also shout out to the 300 plus people watching at our watch party in Mumbai.
Oh, okay. I love that. I love that shout out. Thank you so much for joining me. I can't wait to see what they can do in the second half, and I'm going to pitch this back to Sideshow and Brand to get it on the way.
GE fighting. That's the key.
GE fighting.
That is the key, Josh. The key to victory. And listen, this map is looking much better for them in comparison to that first map that we were just watching on Split, where it was very one-sided. You know, when you have new rosters being formed in this fashion, like Global Esports, talent coming from many different directions, different teams as well, different nationalities.
Chung vào map này trông có vẻ cân hơn này, hai team kiểu ăn miếng trả miếng.
I think it's almost too much to ask. Global Esports could win 4 out of 4 pistols, but so far they've been good for it. They've had set plays, and I feel like maybe quite a lot of their prep focus
Người thắng là người ăn rau lục.
winning those pistols. And you know, they tripped up on Split. They weren't able to convert, but that was a different map. Maybe they were in a different place mentally too. This one's really important.
That's a lot of focus being placed now onto this pistol round, but
Đứng từ nhà ném lửa. Cái đi mẹ em mày lửa. Đánh nhanh luôn rồi. Ôi!
Up close, and there's that nano swarm. Texture just trying to evacuate. He was dropped down low and does fall, but SK Rossi still alive, still in the fight.
Frenzy.
Making it that much more difficult for him.
Oh, Frenzy is a better gun.
Yeah, controlling that spray down. So watching for the flank. Now it's down to the 2 players of Vitality. BenQ will get this plant off. There's not going to be any pressure applied to try and disrupt them, but they're
Ôi rồi, chửa sao xong rồi. 76. Bao tiền cả 76.
Munyet inside of his astral form, and finally the swing is there from Aaron, the team captain, the IGL.
Phát bắn vừa rồi là phát quyết định trận đấu luôn rồi, phát quyết định round đấu luôn rồi. Mình nghĩ là map 3.
That kind of focus to the rest of their game. What a performance. And what a 2K from Rossi as well. This one really crucial to shut down Sender. But the anchoring from Rossi there was very nice. The kill onto Texture so important.
Nó Vitality có quá nhiều tình huống để có thể kết thúc được round đấu này nhưng mà không kết thúc được. Thứ nhất là tình huống thằng nào đấy bắn trượt con Keio để Keio giết 2, xong tình huống đứng ở double door bắn thua, xong tình huống dạp ta timing bắn không trúng viên nào. Quá nhiều tình huống để thua rồi.
He said, in India, we always worship foreign idols, foreign teams. We never had an Indian team to look up to or an Indian player to look up to because we had no achievements outside our country. And SK Rossi, I need to change that. I am in a position to change that. This is my moment. I need to do it. I mean, that just speaks, I think, to the way that Global Esports is approaching this game and the way that Rossi's approaching this game. And this is a winnable map for them.
Yeah, so winnable.
Trust me, guys.
That importance as well.
Map 3.
India as a region. We really have been hammering this point at home, but it's a region that's just been, you know, marred, I think, by issues with the infrastructure as well. Just really kind of like putting a dampener, I think, on the esports scene. But this is a massive moment. See if they can make the most of it here on this big stage for SK Rossi.
Yeah, can you capitalize?
Yeah.
And the rest of Global as well. I mean, it's players from all over the place with different backgrounds and different stories, which makes it a really ambitious project.
Xong chưa? Sao thua được?
Those kills over on A and shutting down one of the biggest threats. A 3v5 for Vitality. Surely it's unwinnable, I mean, even with the sheriff potential.
Even with the sheriffs, I mean, oh my goodness.
Đặt được bom là thành công. Đặt được bom là thành công.
Nowhere near as awkward as it has been in the prior map.
Thành công rồi.
Layering into the util. The C's, the horn, everything being used. Multi just trying to make it difficult for them, but Texture's watching that angle down. So this time,
Map 3. Trust. Map 3.
Not too much damage being done as well to their own economy, so a much better beginning to this half.
Yeah, super important. And if you recall last time, round 2, Global Esports barely kept anybody alive, and they had to buy up for round 3, so they didn't get a bonus. With how cleanly Texture dealt with these players, they've got a good bonus round.
Yeah.
So do we see a set strat? Can they damage the Vitality economy? Can they keep some momentum going? For the first time in this entire series, the play is actually in Global Esports' hands.
A battle. It's not going to be taking place just yet, but that slow take of A main control from Vitality.
Map này SK Rossi cứu một phát này.
Rifles, of course. At the same time, that util being sent forwards is just BenQ alone, just trying to make sure that they've got presence. And this time the swing timings are there. They were spaced up.
Nó biết bắn bỏ A luôn, nó vào luôn, vào nhanh luôn.
Spray down, but the site going to be gained. So Vitality realizing it's been offered for them. And now the slang timing. Twiston is so.
Góc này hơi xấu đúng không ta?
All the way into their spawn with the rifle in his hands right now, and it has been cleared.
Nhưng nó bắn không xấu. Nhưng nó bắn không xấu. The fuck?
Just to disengage. To play with the rest of his team in his high-low setup. Brutal to try and break through. Texture, in the midst of all of this, that's managed to find himself a rifle, but 2v4, might as well try and play it. A bit of a random spam again, just onto that common angle means that Monjet's dealt with, and oh my goodness, the reactions just dragging that one all the way down, finding a final bullet.
The spray control from Twiston and Mulsi was impeccable in that round. And once again, the same as Split. This duo, this relatively...
Phát này SK Rossi bắn chửa quá. SK Rossi không chửa là 1 đội 1 cũng vẫn đẹp luôn.
And if you talk to any fans of EMEA, Twiston and Mulsi, they're primed. They're ready to take that next step up to the big stage and show everybody how talented they are.
Anh em thấy không? Đấy là lý do mình không thích bắn Dulit Dead Map. Dulit Dead Map ở đâu cũng có luôn, nhiều quá luôn. Nhìn nhiều thằng Dulit bắn kinh quá còn, kể cả mấy thằng không tên tuổi luôn. Ý là không phải là 2 thằng này nhưng ý là mày nhiều thằng luôn, bắn kinh quá luôn. Ô kìa chửa kìa. Ô không trúng một viên nào luôn.
Yeah, I mean, just about gets out of there, doesn't he? Still, another pop flash play, and that angle was just perfect, but oh my goodness! Monjet just running circles around them.
Map 3.
Down, a bit of inaccuracy helping him out, and the main choke point also being watched for. Texture, a bit more of a defensive position from him, but this round so far just entirely secured up from
Map
Monjet,
3.
Yeah, I think the biggest player that has improved from map 1 to map 2 and maybe shaken off some of the nerves that Rishi was talking about is Monye. How many times did we see him push a smoke, take a bad fight, not be there for a trade on split? And now on Pearl, he is in the right place at the right time more often than not.
Phát đẩy center mà cầm save là thắng rồi đấy. Tiếc quá center lại cầm mẹ mày Vandal.
Sprays them both down. Second kill, maybe a bit of run and gun.
Sender's going to try and do his best to win out that round, but no swings, no easy fights being afforded. And so a prime gaming flawless here for Global Esports. 8-8. Being this scoreline.
Có Killjoy anti, có Fate anti, giờ các bạn sẽ làm gì?
Their economy is good enough to force, but it will leave them with a bit of a worse setup. How Sender quite beefs that first engagement, I am not sure. Sender should have had the kill on Twiston. Oh, sorry. Sender should have had the kill on Texture 10 times out of 10 then.
Yeah. But that flawless round work.
Ây da, map 3 lại một game dài rồi. Lại một game trận đấu dài. Mình dùng khoáng gì á? Của bọn là La Roche Posey cái gì mình chẳng biết đọc. Chịu.
They just got double sprayed down towards Art. I don't think that's really like something you need to
Hello, Kazi.
Here's a fight that's going to be taking place. Again, the Battle of the Jets, you're going to be witnessing this head-to-head. Recall star up close. At least just a star popped actually off the back of that one and is left ever so slightly a gap. Texture. Beautiful shot from him, just finding the target. Twiston though, playing up close. Flash play as well. Let's see if he wants to try and play through this one. A dash forward.
Không check. Ôi mồm luôn.
Might have just overcooked it though. Tries to take the wider swing, wanted a little bit more, and he is going to be punished. And that lockdown, Texture just mistiming it.
Okay, doesn't look like Texture's going to get punished because this would be wild overextension for Sender, but they might catch a rotator, retaker.
Yeah, pushing forward.
Hay này, giết được mạng đấy lại hay này. Hết hay này, nhon. Rồi sao?
Ripped out of his hands and 4 kills were found in that round. Wonderful response. And you know, for as much as we have been highlighting Twiston as that player, as that guy who's just been the spearhead, the entirety of Vitality just putting up monstrous numbers. Texture finally coming online and finally really just showcasing what he can do.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie, I was worried when he got caught in the lockdown, but they'd already shut down the player that could punish him. I think if Twiston was alive, he would have sought out that duel, but instead Texture allowed to stay alive and pop off. Aaron's happy with that. Texture's not a bad replacement for Cryo on.
Yeah, apparently.
As a teammate, as a Jet starter setup. Have we seen Vitality on an eco round yet?
I mean, we have when they've been losing these pistol rounds.
Sure.
But outside of that, it feels unlikely.
I can't quite recall, but it definitely feels like Global have got the best opportunity they've had. Again, Monye though gets a 3.
Gửi C số tài khoản hoặc MoMo á. Oh hey.
As well is difficult task to really remain unscathed. So the fact that he did get 3 is quite impressive. But they have handed over this to Destrian. But not going to have the players afforded for Vitality to make the most of this one. It's going to have to be again heroics and lurk plays maybe. You can see him throwing out the starter just to throw in a bit of subterfuge, but I believe there's an alarm bot just before it. Yeah, so they're just fully aware that he's not going to be pushing through.
Okay, away.
And he was hoping that the smoke would draw more players to A and allow him to get a lurk off, but Bazi was watching that area no matter what.
Yeah.
Doesn't really look like there's going to be an opportunity for Vitality to turn this one around, especially with only 30 seconds, but we've seen them win some crazy rounds so far.
Dash popped off, that's in response to that. Asher Star's just being placed down, and yeah, all down to Destrian, but is contained, taken care of. Global Esports showcasing that they were fully aware of that one, obviously losing prior control of mid in that round. So they have taken the lead in this map. This next round now going to be so important for Vitality. Ton of ults available to them if they wanted to try and swing it around, but Global Esports, not even on their map pip. They are finding themselves with a steady lead. The potential is there now to try and take this all the way into that map 3.
And I think that the level that Vitality is playing at is maybe slightly lower than Split, but
Map này thua là xong luôn.
map 1 and map 2 is Global Esports
Thành bại tại round này. Mình nói rồi mà, 5-7 team nào thắng lục team bị thắng. Mình nói rồi mà.
Bit of a fight happening in mid here as Global Esports look like they want to
Rồi
press
xong.
the
Go go.
Nice shot.
Go.
Again takes that tip of the spear off.
Just able to do that one on LAN apparently.
And now Vitality without the tip of the spear are just left with a stick.
Go.
Theme, it feels like Texture just removing that threat of Twiston. The guy is supposed to be leading the charge.
The defensive side probably just favored, you know, in the Jet head-to-head in general, but that's what you absolutely need to do. You can't allow Twiston to just have his way, which he was able to do all the time in map 1.
Cây vô anti, phết anti, phát này cây vô anti xong rồi phết anti về City. 1 anti. Cắt. 2 anti. Hút, đặt bom đẹp.
Can't use any abilities whatsoever. Doesn't even have a dash. Does he still want to try and take this one? Plant it out into the open.
It's a great plant spot.
Yeah.
I think the key play to watch here is going to be Monye.
This timing just being taken into mid. Could be a bit of a backstab play. Prowler goes through the wall.
Phải kê đấy. Thằng nào chi hơn thằng người thắng.
Off the smokes, it's a double face, and okay. Contained, just that flank, that one play that was happening. Now to Nightfall, scatters his way across, but it's that 3v3. Bazzi sticking it, does manage to get half. The shot's not fired, but eventually they deal with him. But has enough been done for them? The smoke again fading away. Texture sticking it now with the cloud burst, but eventually.
Đi mẹ nói lại các. Uầy, cả pro chiến nha.
Fired off into the cloud.
Các anh nhận được rồi.
Vitality, it's a little bit squeaky that round, but they do eventually claim it.
I think though the strengths of Vitality's post.
3 anti lận mà, khó mà đỡ được.
They control art so heavily, and this kill here to me just.
Vị trí quan trọng nhất phát vừa rồi là Monjet mà, Monjet chết 1 là thắng. Trận sau RQ thắng donate 300k nha bro. Chà, mình nghe nói rồi nhá, mình nghe nói thôi. Mình nghe nói là bọn Foot mạnh lắm, không biết nữa. Mình không thấy được bọn đấy nó
Nobody would try and pull that out. It is such a dangerous position to opt from when your opponent has knives.
For exactly the reason that we just saw. And now that Jet head-to-head, that battle that's taking place between these two players. Twiston, he answers back, doesn't he?
Ôi, lộ nòng súng mày thế. Khẩu ngắm ở đây dài lắm, địt mày.
And that was a really bold angle to be taking. The defenders have the advantage there almost all the time.
Anti luôn á.
What? Monye can't overheat.
Offsetting of the movement. Do they want to try and punish this? They know where he's going to be isolated. Jumping.
Thôi xong rồi, Monjet cút rồi.
Bazzi has to try and bail him out here. Util.
Ôi.
Monjet
vẫn là 1.
Fragment nade did rebound against the wall and take out.
Pha này khó lắm bạn ạ. Pha này đến caster còn biết mà. Góc đấy là góc 100% lợi thế cho bên phòng thủ. Tại vì cái khẩu ngắm nó ở dài lắm, nó nhìn đến nòng súng trước mà. Đấy là may là thằng Monjet nó không đục đấy. Killjoy của anti, thằng này bò về đây ạ.
Tên 283 đã rescan 30.000 đồng.
Sao bò về đây là mày cầm bom mà. Ô. Cảm ơn dấu tên 283 nghe. Ui.
He's going to be sprinting all the way with a knife out now.
Rossi has nade.
And it's not really planted. A quick tap of it right out into the open. It should be a slam dunk. Indeed it is. SK Rossi. Safe hands from him. So that 11th round is going to be claimed now here for Global Esports. One step closer.
Something we haven't even mentioned thus far, Brent, too, is that Global Esports, from what we've been told, were not intended to play with this roster. They were intended to play with Ronski on the team.
Yeah.
And so Global Esports have like a 7-man rotating roster,
Thằng nào cầm bom đi lướt nhỉ? Thằng cầm bom đi lướt nhỉ? Acha.
A dark horse squad from EMEA. Yeah, it's a hero rifle.
Yeah, but the bunny's running so low, and there's no ultimates to work with either. That's all in the camp of Global Esports. You look at that, so many tools to try and offset whatever might get thrown at them.
Global Esports are going to be pushing up B long, but that's going to open an avenue on the map for Twiston. And with Twiston having the hero rifle, he's the player to watch here.
He's going to be trying to carve out a path for them, but Texture watching this one. Operator tries to go for the flick, now being pressured.
Ngồi ạ.
Wasn't watching the right angle. Still, Texture.
Lại không.
A lot of pressure right now, just being flooded in. And out of trap position, still.
Con câu bắn quan trọng thế, bắn phát sấy vào mặt thằng ngắm ạ. The fuck. Ôi, Twiston.
Such a massive one to win.
Because that also gives up the entire part of the map that the spike's been planted for. Destrian has an awful position.
Mon Z 24 chết 13. Lâu. Rồi xong, 9-12.
Rossi with a flank timing, just impeccable. Bone Cold not expecting it. And this task ahead of Destrian, just to try and salvage this, it's an impossible one. Doesn't have any util. Not going to be watched for either side.
Chạy ngang.
And SK Rossi finalizes it. Global Esports now on the precipice. One more round is what's going to stand between them and bringing this to map number 3.
Their defense side has been so impressive on this map. 4 out of 4 pistols won, but also starting to get the rifle rounds.
Phát này Sender tự dưng ngồi con mẹ xuống kia ạ.
Just coming alive. Monya playing really well too. And even when the rounds are getting dangerous, they're finding the punishes and clearing these areas of the map out really well. One more round required, and we head to Lotus. And I have no idea what can happen on Lotus. Don't even get us started. Big clash over B main.
Massive fight being taken, and the flash is good for it. All the players just out of position. SK Rossi, he's swinging wide right now. He's being forced back and forth. Flick of the wrist, it misses. Texture doesn't land the shot. This is painstaking right now, and they've already lost it, but it is that 1-for-1.
But I think Rossi panicked a little bit. He used his ultimate in the midst of all of this. Maybe just to try and keep himself alive. That's a big tool.
Util, yeah, it was a big tool. Not going to be available now. Aaron.
Phát tầm toàn chạy bắn cây hơn.
Doesn't pay for it with his life, but the util was cleared out. His turret not going to be watched now for any space that it's gained, and it forces him to just keep his eyes on it physically himself. Doesn't have that util. Does have his back being watched though. See the util there with the alarm button, and Nanoswarm needs to stay alive though, and there we go, timing. Nanoswarm's popped off, and it has separated them. Split them up. SK Rossi right into the corner. Does he realize finally spots it? Spike drop down, and now to re-swing. Aim one after another. SK Rossi with his country represented, India, taking them all the way now to map number 3 in this series.
What a map win, and what an emphatic way to do it at the end. Pearl belongs to Global Esports, and Vitality have been knocked
Ây da. Cộng 10 ạ. Cộng 15, cộng 5. Game này Mon Z cứu nhiều. Game này Mon Z cứu nhiều. Game này Mon Z cứu nhiều đét luôn. SK Rossi một quả sấy line up. Mon Z cứu phải 2-3 quả. Mamba anh nghĩ là Vitality. Hết game off á. Chắc thế em ạ. Duno. Phải lộn trừ 3,5 mà. Mau fuck. Làm như nào để ngủ trận 2 xong dậy xem trận 3 được nhỉ? Trận 3 cũng có vẻ hay. Mình nghĩ là trận 3 thì nó cũng phải rơi vào tầm mày 6 giờ sáng. Mai anh không bận đúng không? Có ngày nào anh không bận đâu anh? Ngày nào anh chả tập team. Chả ngày nào anh không tập cả. G2 14 Cloud9 24.
Moments, Mimi. What a match that was.
It was really a great game, and it started off, in my opinion, GE looked really, really rough on that attacking side. The space was bad. People were pushing in front of their Jet player. Nothing was clicking for them. It looked like the game was done and over with, but we get into the second half, they win the pistol and play a fantastic defensive side. I knew they had it from the moment that they didn't drop the anti-eco. No, but you're completely right. There was a lot of roughness, but then as we got over to the defending side, good Lord, everybody absolutely activated for the side of Global. Texture as well, back on Jet, is just chef's kiss performances coming out of this guy right here, dropping a 288 ACS. I mean, it's huge. This is why, if you could look back, he's played now 119 maps of Jet compared to 18
on Raze. He is a Jet through and through. This guy could very well be the
Korean Jet. He is that guy, and there were similarities between both these teams on their attacking side. Team Vitality, same struggle. Spacing fell off. Our Jet player is pushing in front, struggling to trade on those B-long executes. You saw it in the clip. Every time they made one of those mistakes, it was texture really, really punishing, and their side execs as well were struggling against these fantastic anchor players.
Yeah, actually, you know, speaking of the anchoring, I do want to give a shout out to Aaron as well, because he has been such a reliable hand for this team every single time. Put him in the midfield, he'll get you one. He puts the utility where he needs to. He's locking down these sites.
On X set, Aaron only called one side of the map, only the defense. This is where this guy
bread and
thrives,
butter, baby.
and he did it again. The anchoring from him was fantastic, and same from MoMo. He had a great map set.
He really did, and that was one of the more surprising things because we didn't see too much from really anybody on GE on that first map of Split, but MoMo in particular was also struggling as that second controller. It was Aaron who was really the only one who was able to get anything done, and then Bazzi as well in that second half. But yeah, what a leveled up performance from him, constantly coming away with 3Ks, 4Ks. It was a nutty performance from this guy.
Well, and here's the thing, right? One of the things that we were really highlighting, especially in the Split game, Mimi, was the pistols.
Yeah.
If they were able to win an eco, maybe there's a chance here. And they were able to find that success. And how big was that for them?
I mean, it was fantastic, 4 for 4 thus far in the series, but this time they were not choking away to those rounds with the Sheriffs. It felt like they cleaned up, particularly in that second half. If Split was defined by a lot of unforced errors, the nerves, your first time on stage, this map was kind of defined by GE warming up and showing us what they can really do.
And that just goes back to our interview there with Rushi and what he said. He said in their scrims, they do often drop that first map. They start off a little bit slow, and then they heat up, and then they take the scrim from there. And that might just be what we're looking at.
Yeah, and, you know, also, well, the pride of India, right at the end of the game there. SK Rossi doing it big on the world stage, and I'm sure everyone in Mumbai was watching, losing their mind with this, because this young man, we know the skill is there, Mimi, and this was the moment where I really felt like, hey, SK Rossi, welcome to the VCT.
Yeah, again, look back at map number 1. He was whipping some easy shots on the stage. Comes into this one and individually is feeling it. And you see how much it means to him. But also, from that watch party that you're talking about, it means so much to the Indian fans. This is the first time that entire subcontinent of so many millions of people has had someone to represent them at an international Valorant tournament, and it is paying off.
Yeah, it is a wonderful thing to see. But let's go ahead, though, and move into our last map here. We're going to map 3, folks, and it's going to be Lotus. We've been talking a lot about Global Esports, and they certainly deserve their moment. But let's talk about the fact that Vitality were flustered coming out of that game. And now you're going into, well, an unknown commodity yet again with Lotus.
I mean, it went from easy breezy, you know, shrugging, saying, like, I don't know what these guys are doing, you know, them feeding each other, miming feeding each other at the end of the map, to just looking completely lost in that second half. But now we go to Lotus, and we have to once again say, what is going to happen?
Prime Gaming Agent Select is about to take place here, and you see what the players have hovered before.
SK Rossi Sova.
I would like to see that one out of Destrian. It looks like if they do go through with it,
Tristan Van Reis, Habbo.
For GE, they're going for kind of a simple comp. You see this on a lot of maps. The Omen there as a kind of the double dive with texture on that Jet. But for the other side, Vitality go for the fade raise. They're going to be good on their defense at Gambits. They're going to be good at stalling out, retaking with that Harbor Wall as well. But it's a solo controller. A lot of pressure is going to be on that Harbor player.
Absolutely.
Well, here we go, folks. Map 3. One more to decide who moves forward in this competition. Let's go ahead and send it right back over to Brennan Sideshow. Hope you guys are having a good time.
Cay rồi đấy, nhìn mặt cay rồi đấy. Nịt mà nhìn mặt cay rồi đấy.
Certainly am, yeah. This series is delivering so far. And yeah, this final map going to be deciding who moves forward and who goes.
Anh thấy patch chuột có đáng đầu tư không ạ? Có em. Em dùng patch xịn với cả patch đều em sẽ thấy sự khác biệt à?
Now we're heading to Lotus, honestly. Even more unknowns. We didn't know anything before we were heading into the series about these two teams. You know, we had rough glimpses, I suppose, of Vitality from the off-season. But now we really don't know what to expect.
I mean, just nothing. You can look at how you expect the compositions to work, but we've seen a range of different comps have a lot of success on Lotus. So I don't know who to give the advantage to
this fight. A lot of early pressure, it looks like, from Global Esports towards A main. There's going to be a fault line there, nice and early, through the connector. And the goal of this is just to try and contain this space towards A main. An instant response, though, look at this. Vitality willing to pivot. Controller B main, actually, and now going to be using
Thông thả đi em Hùng.
Rotate all
Không,
the
mình
way
không xài
around.
mấy cái pad cứng.
Try and claim a free side onto C. A lot of
Retake
people
C.
being to the back of it just to clear it out, making sure that
Không có thông tin gì ở đằng sau hết.
scurrying away, but it is going to be a
Ô, đợt bom này á? Ô, nào. Ô!
Oh my goodness! Punishing this one, still running backwards, backpedaling from Sender.
It's a good paranoia.
Up. Yep, it was good. Caught onto him there, and now this pressure is really on them. Sender needs to come up with the goods and just can't quite deliver it. Taking a awkward fight there, awkward engagement. And the spike's been dropped down. Vitality were getting ahead of themselves. They took complete control of the connectors at the back of their spawn ahead of time, thinking that it was just going to be offered for them.
How did they get the spike back now?
Hơi kỳ nhá. Mẹ em trông hơi kỳ nhá.
Not much util you've got available to them other than the wall from Destrian. Let's see what he does here. Consistency that we've seen time and time again from Global Esports.
Well played, BenQ.
Yeah.
Well played.
5 out of 5 pistol rounds going the way of Global Esports. And on top of that, I feel like the way that they're abusing the frenzy is giving them so much success. A lot of frenzy usage in these pistol rounds. And the big flank.
Nó có 10.000 chỗ đặt bom trong side C nhưng nó đã chọn đặt bom hoài. Pardon, please, địt mẹ mày. Ai đấy hãy mang thằng này ra khỏi franchise đi làm ơn đấy.
Yeah, what a way to curse it.
But I'm not worried about this round because Global Esports, since Pearl, just feel like they've fixed that issue.
Flooding through into it. Spike going to be dropped down to the corner. Late lurk from BenQ. He could do some real damage here.
Bắt đầu rồi đấy.
Okay.
I'm worried.
You should be worried, Josh.
I'm worried again.
Yeah, listen. You get the entire ire of India on you as well if you keep this one up.
It wasn't my fault.
Well, kills are offered up. 3 for 3 still in this round now. 3 versus 3, I should say. And now slowing it down a little bit here for Vitality, making sure that they wait it out.
I think Vitality's composition is usually going to have a lot of utility. But in these early rounds, they can't afford all of it, obviously. So Global Esports should have opportunities to get much better retakes early in the half compared to later. The question is just whether, you know, Sender lands a headshot or BenQ finds a pick.
Giờ thì bom long đi làm ơn. Làm ơn bom long đi.
Idea whether Vitality have pushed deep. Because they're miles away.
They've concentrated all the way up. It's always awkward, honestly, retaking this C side when you don't have any control of the inner workings of the map, the connectors, because you really do have to clear everything carefully. You don't
Team nó không có smoke rồi làm sao? Ra long đi, please.
Sure, it's a slow and steady approach here, just trying to link up with the rest of his team from Waterfall.
Time is going to tick, but Vitality again have no util, so no post-plant ability.
Flash to push them through. One player holding a water there, and as BenQ to the back, they want to fight this one, and the Sheriff's in their hands. Anything could happen. Running gun in action, but Aaron, he will win out the fight eventually. Drop down to 17 health, but
Đi con mẹ mày luôn, đi con mẹ mày.
those anti-ecos, but it does get converted nevertheless.
Đi con mẹ bom long đứng ở trong side team nó đéo có smoke luôn. What the fuck?
It's fine.
But yeah, Global Esports really important that they convert that one. Now, Aaron has been a rock for them to hold on to. It was Texture and Monye really dominating map 2. And Aaron was there solidly the whole time, and he pulls them through in another pistol. Just like he did to open split.
Let's see what happens here with this next round. So Global Esports not opting to buy into the rifles. It's a much weaker buy from them, just continuing the bonus, keeping it going. Seeing what they can get done. A lot of util being used though at that flash. Oh my goodness! Up close, corralled into the corner, slowed all the way down. Twiston is making a Vandal look like a phantom. One yet though up close. Oh my! Trigger discipline, just can't quite find a second shot.
Could have been everything.
Bật đạn tin bố mày đấm cái thằng lồn kia. Đi coi mẹ nó rút anti định đặt ạ.
Gun is quite good by the way.
Any damage done here is actually huge. Rossi could give his team.
Đây là bài toán kinh tế em ơi. Cứ team nào giàu là được vào. Team nào giàu với cả có kiểu kinh tế ổn định ấy là được vào franchise.
Hoovered up the rifle in his hands right now with his Phantom. And he should be playing for the kills like you said, Josh.
Yeah, I think he wants to be playing pretty aggressively. I don't think saving the rifle here is the right move. But looks like he just wants to take a cautious approach. And that's going to let Twist and BenQ multi, that's going to let those guys off the hook.
Yeah. Maybe not willing to give them potentially any easy kills. Multi is 2 away from his ult, so
yeah, there's always
play close to it.
There is always a risk reward.
Yeah, 3 away from Bone Colds and Twistons. So,
and there's a lot of ways to play for ult orbs on this map. But still, okay. SK Rossi taking the safe approach there. A Vitality, that means that they're going to be able to get a decent buy, but I think this breach flash, where you just saw Twiston follow up, that clearly was not accounted for by Global Esports. So they need to adjust to that. If they're going to commit so many bodies to try and control.
Mẹ mình biết nói tiếng Anh nhá. Nếu mấy bạn Vitality cần.
That was a massive miss. Texture with an operator in his hands.
Nó có 5-10 comeback vãi lồn mà, 5-10 comeback vãi lồn luôn với anh Navi. Giàu nhưng mà nó không ổn định các bạn. Kiểu nó không có gọi là sao ta? Nó không có nhiều gọi là thông số legit như những team khác ấy, kiểu vậy. Bạn hiểu không? Vì Blitz là tổ chức mới. Gì vậy?
Oh, they've got all 4 of their players ready for the approach, but it is just an absolute slaughter back and forth.
I don't think they were expecting as many of the global players to be there. Vitality have called an immediate pivot into C, but that's the game plan from Aaron. He wants them to run into the nano swarms.
Look at this angle. Operator in his hands, Texture. He's holding for it.
Một.
The clearance isn't good. Oh my goodness, the spacing just good enough. Still a bit of damage done there through the wall. Bone Cold dropped down to 5 health. The damage is being done now in this 2v3. Still, you can't afford to give up too much.
Rồi xong.
Twiston tries to just spam the angle that he was expecting a player to swing through on. Left down onto that
Twiston hơi đen.
Bone Cold will have to really pull out all the stops to be trying to win this one, and it's just not possible. Not with the resources available to him. So, Global Esports, really good options, really good ideas as they're heading into this defense side.
Yeah, I think that round was fantastic. I mean, the triple stack from Global Esports on one side of the map, driving the Vitality players into nanoswarms and the operator on the other side. That is really good. And also, the small mistakes that we were seeing from Global before, where they would line up and give easy spray downs and not be there.
Monjet vào tay quá nhở.
A lot of that has gone away.
Monjet 2 game vào tay phết đấy.
Because of the weird situation that Vitality's economy is in, they're almost baited into force buying again. They've had 2 back-to-back rounds where Global Esports has the advantage in the economy. This is scrap metal.
And another clash, though. That's what's going to be happening here towards the A side of the map. That's done. The fault line is there, but yeah, with a bit of spam through the doors and when an Odin's in your hands, I mean,
Đấy là điều mình nói ở map này này.
Still the fight needs to be taken. Got to be careful. Don't want to give away too much. And what's going to be offered for him? Well, has to dodge that flash, and as he does, he creates that opening.
Nhưng Twiston nó bắn kìa.
Same breach flash ruining Global Esports control over A, and it's opened up a gap for Twiston.
Oh yeah, and just with the door opened up, that one connector, the prior fight being taken, lurks his way in. This is all but over for Global Esports. I mean, Texture's doing a lot, just very disciplined there as he just tries to slowly pick up onto this angle, even a crouch peek as well. Nade pushing them back. I think if you are Global Esports, just want to be saving the weapons that you got here. Don't want to be giving away the operator.
Yeah, if they can play exits, that would be beneficial, just to keep damaging Vitality's economy. But this map, you can just exit everywhere.
It's a lot offered for them, but just to talk about this round that actually ended up happening as well, a recurring thing that we've seen. Like you said, Josh, that breach flash that's not being dealt with when they fight.
Lậu nhà Hùng trồng được mà. Mày niêu thạch xanh. Mãi đeo tới hết. Lừa mãi vẫn đeo tới hết.
And also, I feel like whether it's players getting blinded or players having to turn away, that breach flash is ruining them. And it might be something where Texture wants to pre-cloudburst the area, just so that
block it off.
Yeah, just to block it off, so that when the flash pops, he doesn't have to worry about it. You just saw it there in the replay. It blooms kind of really high in the defender's sight line. But you could cloudburst that if you can predict the timing of it.
Thật hôm lồn là cũng last dance. Last time.
From kind of the A site position so that they're anti-flash. And they can swing, but the angles are awkward.
So we step ourselves now into this round here, round 6. Swing off the prowler.
Nhầm nữa nhở. Không stun không gì hết, mày chạy ra bắn nhau chay luôn.
Maybe just a little bit late with the stun that should have been coming, but
I like this Odin idea from Monye. It is working.
A lot of warbang angles on this map in particular. Saw Cloud getting good usage of it actually earlier in the tournament. A couple of Guardian kills, but it's an interesting round because the ultimates are building up on either side. A lot of tools to work with. You might start to see some of them offloaded.
3 players on the B site, and if BenQ gets his breach ult in there, those guys will not be able to hold on. It is a
Sender của anti, Irene của anti để retake.
risk reward maybe not quite in Vitality's favor.
Rossi chưa có anti, dùng đi.
Because Aaron's still going to be able to back up and pop his nano swarms off.
It's quite interesting.
And he has a counter lockdown, so is this all just a fake to hit B with the breach ult or the nightfall?
Looks like there might be a pivot in play yet. There's a nightfall. Moves them back. No more audio cues from Munyet. And there's a rolling thunder. That's used in response. Global Esports pushing them back, but still pushing their way through. Aftershock into the corner. It's going to be causing it to be a little bit more. Time is running so damn low now. The wall's still blocking off these sightlines. Plant's going to go down, and no one really disrupting this up close to the wall. Texture does cover it.
What a shot.
And it has to be heroics. It has to be now. One after the other. The double swing, not spacing themselves.
Nó trả lại bằng hết luôn mà.
Just crumbling before them.
Ui.
What was an opening, what was an opportunity for Global Esports to at least turn that in their favor? It just crumbles. The same errors we were talking about in map number 1 just rearing their heads there.
Oh, and that's a 4v2. A 4v2 retake, I think, where it all just fell to pieces. Texture did such a good job.
Sender cứu hết.
But then this kind of crouch peek play from Buzzy is no bueno.
Yeah, not too good, but
set Sender up for a 4K, holding on, and Vitality now powered up.
So forcing Global Esports down to that eco. Texture one away from his Blade Storm. It's a heavy stack over towards A. This time, not willing to fight over some of that A main pressure, so they've realized the mistake prior. And they're like, okay, well, we don't really have the util to go pound for pound and try and fight for that control, so we'll give it up.
If they can sniff out the A stack, though, the rest of the map is so weak from
yeah,
Global's defense.
Wide open. You see this positioning being played by Aaron. I mean, he was behind just the bank of sand there, but has to give it up. He does hear that util being used into the front side of B.
Uh-oh. The spike is returning over to A. Global Esports haven't moved an inch.
As he's holding his fall line, I think. Maybe off a bit of util, but revealing a couple of these players, fault line, and a nade as well.
Okay, the pivot into B here makes more sense to me, I think.
Yeah, a lot has been showcased so far, I think. Global Esports making it quite obvious that they've stacked this, and now to B. Should be a free plant, yeah, especially with the cove, it's going to be blocking.
Thủ đó chưa phát suy luôn nhỉ.
The position isn't even there in the first place, but playing for this retake, I think narrow sight lines, narrow angles as well. Could see that the pistols get a bit of work done. Dart pushes the players back now, and Vitality feeling the pressure. It's definitely on. Shorty right up close, and Personal still twisting. Lurks his way around, and no one is dealing with
Ông
this
Twiston này tay run thế.
Shorty in play.
Sen nhanh hay sao tay run thế.
That slam dunk, looking like it could have got a bit dangerous, but no, Vitality win it out. 4 players remaining alive.
And I think at this point in the game, after 7 rounds have been played, Vitality should have a really good read of how Global Esports are playing their defense. And this is where a good attack side caller or a good coach is going to be able to give you a lot of other good ideas for the rest of the rounds. And something that strikes me
Đi 800 sen 0.4 đi chả nhanh em Tuna. Lồn không nhanh lắm ạ. Vãi hồn. Đi mẹ mày. Thở nào. Hít thở nào. Chứ còn lồn gì nữa em. Tính mức trung bình nha, 800 DPI mà sen 0.32 đổ lên là đã là trên trung bình rồi. DPI em 1600 sen 0.2, thế khác gì 800 0.4 rồi em. Nó khác gì đâu. Cái lộn là mình 800 0.29 mình còn muốn giảm nữa.
sidelines.
Counterpoint. What if SK Rossi on Sova ops?
I mean,
Sova bắn ộp à? The fuck?
I mean, sure. Why not?
Very unusual. He's probably going to have to send out a recon dart early for some control and then operate. But, I mean, look at Vitality. I think they're going to go for the play that I talked about. Double blast pack with the Razor into C.
Util being dumped through, so control of A. Immediately pivoting. They know that they're pushing up a lot of the player base. Now you can see a lot of the team of Vitality. Dumping a bit of utility through, and now you see it reckoning in the showstopper.
Dẻo đấy.
Clears out the side entirely.
Thôi xong.
This ult is a little bit
really
awkward there from SK Rossi. Yep, dashing away just to avoid that showstopper rocket that was flying right towards their spawn. But
and one of the problems is, I mean,
bên kia có gì không nhỉ? Bên kia chả có gì cả. Có Molly không? Không có Molly. Đéo có sóc đạt, đéo có gì hả? Sao bắn retake nhỉ? À sao bắn post lane nhỉ? Phải vào trong side bắn nhau chứ nhỉ? Uầy, trong móc có móc, được chưa?
Backstabbing them. Moving forwards though, Aaron does deal with this one. Now how does this retake happen? A lot of util, aftershock into the corner. SK Rossi moving up, has the operator. Does he suspect the player is close? Time is running low. Texture trying to stick this now. The raw spam, the random spam. Trying to go for the quick scope, half onto the diffuse. No one's dealt with Twisted.
Spam chay à, sợ vãi lồn. Spam chay trông sợ vãi lồn thề luôn, bắn post lane mà spam mới sợ vãi lồn luôn, vì nó đéo bao giờ nó là an toàn cả. Ít ra bạn phải có một cái quả lửa hay một cái gì đấy để delay lúc mà nó ném smoke nha. Còn nếu mà bạn đi mẹ bắn post lane chay sợ vãi lồn luôn, mình nói thật.
Spot that is miles out in the open, and they're able to get that plant down because there was nobody on C. They're leaving C open super early in the rounds. I think you're probably going to see something similar here from Vitality. If they try and go towards A and they meet too much resistance, pivot C, get a plant.
Yeah, they just want to fight over this one. Again, the double flashes up into the top corner. This time, no texture. The blade storm them, and yet backing him up. Paranoia now going to be ripping through, and it does.
Vào B rồi kìa. Đi vào B rồi kìa. BC luôn. Hay, good trade. Cái mạng này quan trọng này. Cái mạng này siêu quan trọng luôn. 3v4 với 3v3 khác hẳn nhau luôn. Lại còn không có con smoke nữa. Đéo có gì để smoke bomb lại.
Players were holding close. Multi's position. Yeah, it's revealed on a headshot angle though. There's not going to be a re-swing. Dart push back now. Has to be aware that there could be a push, but time, again, starting to run low. These post-plant positions, they got to know that there are a few players there holding it. The timing. Someone needs to start sticking this. Where are the protocols? Where are the layers? A tap onto the spike, but it's just so difficult to try and win out now. And left up to Aaron.
Sep.
Will claim a rifle in the middle of all of this one, but another round tallied up now for Vitality. They're going to be getting 6 on the board.
And this is where Global Esports needs to change up the defensive setup. I mean, you can't just do the same thing every time and expect it to work when Vitality have got the read. I think you need to be putting pressure. Maybe you fight Sand this round, or maybe texture ops towards C this round, or you go for, you know, a stack towards B and play retake A. I don't know. There are different options here. But the point being that they need to shift. Vitality have got the read currently. So you see it happen actually. And it looks like
mình không xem bóng đá, mình không biết.
But they've still got the Killjoy utility behind that. Might have been better off putting Aaron on B. But this is a new team and I'm sure Aaron's scrambling to come up with the adjustments early.
Quá luôn là xã hội đã thay đổi lắm rồi hay sao mà giờ mày MoMo của với Barca cũng hỏi luôn hả?
Pretty vital target as well in the form of system, but an instant rotation now by Vitality. They noticed that early utility wasn't being used towards A main. Chances are they're not playing it, but SK Rossi gets some really good mid-round information, and that drone spots at least 2 of the players.
And there's 3 players ready to defend A.
Yep, swarming back onto the
nó đã C2 rồi.
Operator, texture
liều thế. Texture liều thế. Ui.
Risky timings, and there was a gap into the smoke. The spam is just not being afforded, is it?
Sếp.
No angles to really play for, and the operator's going to be salvaged, picked up, backed away. Global Esports forced to save for another day.
Vitality looking clean. I like the pivots as they move around the map. I think one of the big things that BenQ's done well.
Em Hùng có chết với G2 không kìa em Hùng? G2 đang mẹ mày ăn hành kìa. 3-12 kìa. Nico 413, Hoxie 413, JKS 812. Em không có chơi em vậy.
Make sure they get easy access to sites. Global Esports had the read though. It just Vitality overwhelmed them as that sloppiness came back into their play.
Yeah. Trying to play retake there. I mean, maybe it's different if Texture ends up landing a shot. This could be really dangerous. With a no scope, he can't even save the weapons into it.
No, that's brutal.
Yeah.
Absolutely brutal. Not only do you lose all of your weaponry, but Vitality didn't have to use their Breach ultimate or their Killjoy ultimate. They still have two enormous tools to win another round. On C, on B, you know, wherever they want to use them, maybe a post plant A. There are just so many options on this map for how you want to work the ults.
Steadily gaining a lead. Obviously, the map has found itself to be quite attack-sided so far at lock-in.
Yeah, so
could bode well, I suppose, for Global Esports, but
how many rounds to Global Esports?
Rồi mai mắc công mà.
I mean,
4 in the pistol.
Thôi không bàn trận bài mặt bóng đá anh em ơi. Anh em hãy tận hưởng trận đấu này nốt đi ạ. Chắc là nốt game này mình cũng nghỉ rồi, nếu mà không có gì thay đổi. Nãy uống đi về một cốc 2 gói cà phê rồi mà vẫn đéo thấy thay đổi, đéo ăn thua gì lắm. Biết luôn mà.
Pay for it with his life. Could spam the common angle, but no, there's a cove in the way, so even the bullets would be blocked. Quite interesting though, he has managed to lurk his way into a slight timing. But all this util, just slowing him down.
Không có smoke, bắn chính tách rồi. Bắn post plan thôi. Team bạn lấy gì thắng? Xong rồi. Đặt cái anti hơi phí, tại vì team bạn yếu tiền mà. Không phải đâu mà có hôm nào anh coi game 3 chưa anh chưa em ơi. Chết mẹ mất. Không phải đâu, nhưng mà dạo này nhá, mình nhá, ngủ dậy, kể cả ngày bình thường không phải làm gì hết, hay là ngày tập team, như kiểu ngày nào ấy, lúc nào cả ngày mình cũng trong tình trạng uể oải ấy, kiểu tay chân mình kiểu nó không được thoải mái này, hay là kiểu người nó không có đầy đủ năng lượng ấy, kiểu vậy. Ăn uống thì ăn uống đầy đủ chất, mà em ăn ngon luôn, nhưng mà cảm giác người mình nó cứ thế lồn nào ấy, không hiểu, do tâm trạng không thoải mái hay sao. Anh nhảy dây mà, ngày nào anh cũng nhảy dây mà. Không ngủ nhiều. Ngày mình ngủ có 6-7 tiếng à. Chẳng qua là mình ngủ muộn với cả dậy trưa thôi. Nhưng mà ở Việt Nam mình mà có ngủ giấc như thế thì nó cũng không có bị mệt như thế. Không phải là do không ngủ sâu, mình ngủ đúng một giấc không mà mình tỉnh luôn. Nhưng mà nhá, những lúc mình ngủ tỉnh trong ngủ ấy thì nó không mệt bằng những lúc mình ngủ một giấc sâu. Không biết vì sao. 8-4.
They shut that one down. Have to be aware. Bazzi backing away. Peak timing. Twiston's position known, but now.
Rao sân nào này mà có cái anti Killjoy vừa nãy có phải là dễ hơn không? Mình tập thể dục, mình đi bộ, mình nói chung là mình không phải là kiểu chỉ có ăn ngủ và chơi đâu. Mình có nhảy dây, mình có đi bộ đầy đủ luôn á. Ăn uống đầy đủ, không bỏ bữa. Nhưng mà không biết vì sao. Mình nghĩ nó là do tâm trạng không thoải mái.
Potential is there. Like we said earlier, it is a bit more of an attack-sided map from what we've seen so far at the tournament, but probably going to need the pistol round as we head into that second half.
Testosterone là gì hả tụi nào? Nghe từng mồm mày là thấy không có gì tốt lành đấy tụi nào. Làm thêm viên C á, chắc phải thế. Phải xách địt con mày, tao biết ngay mà tụi nào. Địt con mày à mày. Mình nghĩ là do tâm trạng mình nó không thoải mái nhiều hơn. GE win donate 1M, khó lắm chiến ạ, 1M này khó lấy quá. Em cũng vậy anh ơi, đi học ngủ 3 tiếng, trưa ngủ thêm 3 tiếng lại khỏe hơn ngủ giấc sâu. Đợt trước nhá. Không phải đâu. Đợt trước nhá, không phải đâu, mình ở cùng một phòng, cùng tất cả các thứ, mọi thứ nó vẫn như thế luôn, nhưng mà đợt trước sang đây mình không bị như thế. Đợt trước ở đây mình không bị như thế. Ở bên trước nhá, ôi tay run kìa, hay là nó rung chân nhá. Kiểu run này, ôi, run này. Trông run như cầy sấy luôn mà. Đợt trước vừa rồi mình sang nhá, mình kiểu mình ngủ nhá, mình không bao giờ ngủ được một giấc sâu luôn, mình ngủ chỉ có được vài tiếng xong mình tỉnh, xong mình lại ngủ, xong mình lại tỉnh. Nhưng mà nó không bị như thế. Đợt này sang nhá, mình ngủ một giấc sâu ấy luôn, ngày nào mình cũng xem giải xong. Nói chung là cứ mặc định một khung giờ đi là tầm 4 rưỡi 5 giờ mình ngủ. Mà mình ngủ thường là sẽ đến tầm 12 giờ, 1 giờ. Một giấc mẹ mày thông luôn. Nhưng mà dậy lại mệt. Đéo biết vì sao. Có lẽ là do mình nghĩ là do kiểu tâm trạng nó không thoải mái.
5 for 5 so far for Global Esports with these pistol rounds, and now potentially one of the most important ones they've ever played coming up.
Almost looks like fake pressure towards
Nào lại Sova đi mạng NG.
The flash recon play, at least initially here. Vitality have taken sand, so a bit of a flip in the map.
Yeah, deep position there on the C, and that's pressure being, again, just flooded through now into this B site. Sender, oh, this smoke is just a little bit off in terms of the angle. Tried to take an early fight, doesn't know if they pushed him. Backed away, the plan's gonna get off, and this
Bọn Global Esports lại bắn lục tín vãi lồn ta.
Pedestrian falling is a big one.
This is wonky now though, because Vitality control every other part of the map. They're gonna ambush Global Esports.
To reflank the post plants, and
bắn
needs to
lục
be
tín
some
vãi
place
lồn
made,
mà.
and guess what, Monyet steps up to the plate. Hands him an easy kill in the form of Bone Cold. Aaron's reflank is everything, but doesn't buy this time, just backs away. One bullet and it does the job.
Oh, flanks on flanks for Global Esports.
The IGL just doing the most right now for them. Last player known, Twiston is finished, and that's 6 for 6. A flawless on the pistol round. Beautiful stuff, and it sets off Global Esports on the right foot to try and get even in this final.
Game này chưa biết đâu này. Game này chưa biết đâu này. Game này chưa biết đâu này.
Out of this tournament in the first round, I think they've showcased that their pistol rounds at a minimum can make matches happen.
Yeah.
Eraser, the head coach, and Aaron, the IGL, have cooked up some really cool stuff. The post-plant flank there was good. The push into spawn was a nice idea too. It's not simple. There are layers. Okay, are they aware that Twiston went for this push before? Because Vitality are doing the same.
Mình cũng nhớ nó chưa thua đau lục nào thì phải.
Looks like he wants to clear it.
Mồm.
Stunned up. There was a crossfire.
Good work.
Almost taken off the head of Azzy, but yeah, they.
Harbor bên CT không phải là một tướng tốt cho lắm.
We saw Carmen Core run the same kind of play with XMS and Navira. And that one worked a treat. So good play from Global Esports to clear that out. What is this? The Harbor Circle of Doom.
Yeah, I mean,
Trồn vãi cả lồn Harbor.
Wading in and out of, but Paranoia rips across, so doesn't seem like it's going to be too troubling for them. There we go, nice and easy. Another flawless. Prime gaming at that, and keeping all those weapons going.
Yeah, this is an opportunity for Global Esports to have a really dangerous bonus round, because they have just hit them with the Prime game in flawless. I feel like any opportunity the Global players have to get their confidence up is going to be dangerous for Vitality. We saw that momentum build on Pearl, and Vitality could not stop it. Obviously, the halves flipped here. Global now has to do it on the attack side rather than the defense.
This is what they've got to be careful of, though. Vitality, this comp, is so good at punishing this, and look at that, the nade was actually landed intentional for any sort of player that might be TPing behind that wall.
Yeah, it was actually a C's nade as well. There was a crazy lineup from Mulsi.
Yeah, so that's a set play, anticipating that Monyet on the Omen would be TPing across, but no one deals with the Haunt. Lights him up through the wall, and it offers that easy kill, but you do get the 1-for-1.
And I think this breakable wall is such an interesting dynamic on Lotus. Whoever controls this A segment of the map probably wants to break that wall that connects it to B. So the Vitality players don't have any info about whether they could be going through to B. They're having to hold
Mình nghĩ là 7-8.
in the 4v4.
Nhìn cái thế này, 7-8.
From our point of view, we see that Sender might well be under a bit of pressure.
Cung đẹp này.
There's a dart, bounces into the back of the site. It's going to be broken, and there is a wall in the face of some of these players. An instant pivot now, though, moving their way into B.
Another gorgeous lurk timing, maybe.
Ôi, hết rồi.
A second to
Hết rồi, hết rồi, hết rồi, hết rồi, hết rồi. Ôi, Tiston.
Offering out to them is doing quite a lot. There was a cove to block off that angle.
Sao mà về C được? C có Killjoy mà. How? Nó không phải ý tưởng tốt. Đó phải một ý tưởng tốt khi mà Sai C vẫn còn Killjoy và Molly. Đó bao giờ phải là một ý tưởng tốt luôn.
Damage done though on the bonus, and remember that is the goal for global esports, is to keep Vitality's economy honest, and I think they've done that. There's gonna be.
Chịu đó em. Cho đến khi mà nhìn thấy cái tham minh mà thằng Grace vẫn nhìn thấy Killjoy thì chịu đó đấy.
SK Rossi with an operator. The attacking Sova.
Khó lắm, mình nói thật khó lắm. Thứ nhất nó là round bonus ấy, bắn về cái size C này còn Killjoy khó lắm.
Watch Sender either trying to go for a jump pick or what. We'll have to see that in the replay. But now you're seeing all this pressure onto BenQ. No one was watching that angle, but the dart reveals his position.
Phan Tầm bắn cày vãi lồn.
Just slightly just moving around there. Sight going to be gained.
Another good plant position. Oh no, Bazzi actually forced to go for a safe plant here.
Yeah, drops back.
Có chưa đặt được bom nè.
Attack side lockdown. Global Esports looking to see if they can get this space, but there's a contacting in.
Sao lại không check góc đấy nhỉ?
Twiston opting into this. Oh my goodness, and the fault line, Twiston. Oh my word, did he get detained there? Looks likely. Just couldn't quite satchel his way out of there, but there's no punish. Still, the plan goes down.
Cái góc thùng này góc cơ bản vãi lồn mà nhỉ? Sao lại không check nhỉ?
But it is a safe plant, which is a bit more difficult to work with. You can see Aaron's in a spot to swing up Monye.
Corner, Prowler as well. Monye needs help. He's going to be TPing away actually. Just backs.
Khó rồi. Nên xếp. Mình nghĩ là nên xếp. Hoặc là đi có vẻ là bắn vãi lồn ấy, lại là hai thằng này. Lại là hai thằng này luôn. Monsi với cả Tiston, hai thằng này bắn vãi lồn nữa. Đi hai thằng này bắn vãi lồn luôn.
But I mean, the Vitality's retake there looking so good. That duo that has just been so stellar in this match of Twiston and Mulsi.
Thua ba này xong rồi. Thua ra này thì suy rồi. Tâm lý như cứt.
But the way that they're syncing these things up, the C's, the nade, the swing timings, they have got such great synergy between them.
Magnificent.
And that puts global esports firmly on the back foot.
Đấy là một sự khác biệt giữa con Phết với cả con Sova đấy. Đấy là sự khác biệt đấy. Anh em nào có xem thì mình đã nói rồi đúng không? Từ cái hôm mà xem Energy bắn map này với cả bọn Giant ấy, mình bảo là tại sao tất cả team đều thích bắn con Sova nhỉ? Mình có nói luôn rồi đúng không? Con Phết này nó cho bạn quá nhiều sự lựa chọn hơn con Sova luôn.
It's a pivot though. Global Esports moving forwards, and still the rifle in the hands of Rossi needs to be the playmaker. But a difficult sight for them to take fault line into the back of it. Plant position is there, but the wall blocking them off. They need to move past this.
Hay này, Ego pick cái tôi cao này, cái tôi cao này, cái thôi, đéo cao lắm. Không phải. Thứ nhất nhá, anh em phải hiểu đấy. Sova nó không phải là khó. Không phải là Sova khó. Con Sova nó vẫn có nhiều tác dụng hơn. Chắc chắn chắc chắn là post plan thì con Sova hơn con Phết rồi. Nhưng cái chính là ấy, anh em nhìn ấy, con Sova là hơn con Phết là điểm gì? Nó hơn ở cái cung check, dễ bắn, nhiều góc, các thứ anti, phá kill cho anti, phá đồ, các thứ đúng không? Nhưng mà con Phết nó cho bạn nhiều sự lựa chọn hơn sao? Bạn nhìn nó clear góc bằng con Phết ấy. Bạn nhìn nó clear góc bằng con Phết, còn góc nào để đứng đâu? Làm đéo con góc nào để đứng? Toàn những cái góc nha, góc hẹp vãi lộn, nó ném cho đúng một cái hút. Một con chó Phết cắn hết luôn. Không phải là Sova nó không được chơi ở map này, nhưng mà mình nghĩ là con Phết nó mạnh hơn con Sova ở map này. Đấy là mình nghĩ. Sova Mapper được mà. Tại vì Sova Mapper ấy, thường là cái side B nó sẽ là một khẩu ngắm solo. Em lái con drone ra, em tắc khẩu ngắm ra, em đuổi theo nó ấy. Em sẽ chiếm được nhiều vị trí hơn. Nó không như map này. Map này từ cái đường em đi tới ấy, nó nhiều chop point, nó nhiều chỗ phải check, nó các thứ con drone nó không thể nào mà clear hết được, không thể. Map này mà bắn 2 con Initiator và Fate và Sova thì thua luôn. Mình nói thật, map này mà bắn 2 con đấy thua luôn. Đéo có một cửa nào để thắng luôn ấy. Map này nó có quá nhiều choke point, anh em cảm tưởng như cả map Haven ấy. Anh em đi sang A ấy, lúc nào cũng có một cái stun, con Bridge nó chờ đúng không? Anh em đi sang Gara nó có một con xe của Killjoy chờ. Nếu mà xe bắn thì Bridge stun về late side, về late game. Đúng không? Nó quá nhiều choke point, nó cần phải nhiều đồ. Mà những đồ đấy phải là đồ kiểu có stun, đồ gây đam như kiểu là Omen Flash, Bridge stun, Nade Killjoy, trụ Killjoy, gì nữa nhở? Molly KO, Giao KO, nó là những cái đồ như thế thì mới là đồ để chiếm choke point. Còn nếu mà cái đồ như kiểu Sova và Fate ấy, nó chỉ là đồ để tìm thông tin thôi. Đéo chiếm được choke point thì lấy thịt đéo là mà chỗ mà để mà bắt đầu chiếm thông tin được đúng không? Chết.
Might be a compromise that hurts them.
Moving forward, slow and steady. The name of the game in a rolling thunder. They want to punish
Xong.
this one, and SK Rossi the nade into the corner.
Nade không chết kìa.
We're still alive for now. Where's going to be dealt with? And he is finally the spray down.
Anh em nhìn thấy từ nãy đến giờ con Sova nó có một tác dụng nào chưa? Mình chưa thấy một con Sova này nó có một tác dụng gì luôn ấy. Map này bắn ấy, map này blitz bắn ấy. Line up bắn là mình chọn mà.
Critical kill for him. Late lurking into mid, finds his mark.
He's been good on them, hasn't he?
Yep.
These lurks have always found value from Aren, and it's a better plant position now.
What is the play here? One yet. So close to the start. It's about to fade. He's pushing forwards into it. And it's a run and gun. They're just trying to fight them deep into the play. A dash forwards to try and disengage here.
Ông bôn công làm gì vậy?
And somehow Aren wins that one. It's so damn awkward, but it's down to that 2v2. Wall blocks the sight line.
Ôi rồi ôi. Thế này thì sao đỡ?
Do it. Stuck all the way through, and Vitality find themselves now on series point.
Habo mạnh nhưng mà chỉ mạnh ở những lúc như thế đấy, như em Suka. Đến lúc mà em gỡ bom ấy thì Harbor nó mới mạnh. Nhưng mà em lấy cái gì để đến lúc em gỡ bom được nó lại là câu chuyện khác. Cái vấn đề nó là như thế. Khi mà em hold side địch đi vào em lấy cái gì ra để chống nó mới là cái chuyện. Chứ còn nếu mà retake chắc chắn nó mạnh rồi. Uầy, lại 5 lít nữa. Tưởng bro tạm biệt rồi mà. Shit, 1,5 triệu luôn. Thank you bro rất nhiều.
The util combos this time lay it into A main, doesn't grab any kills. Dash forwards, Manel actually sticking this ultimate as well. He's deep into the back line. Position's known though, Multi's going to be backing away. And he does dodge that paranoia, but it's creating an awkward timing right now. What is Multi going to do, holding the edge of this smoke? Meanwhile, Esports not wasting any time with this kind of pressure. That's going to be the aftershock, pushing them back out of the way. Fight needs to be taken close and personal. It is trading though, but still Vitality going.
GG.
All down to Texture. A 1v2 to keep his team in it. Just to try and survive. Texture in the side, dashing forwards, dodging that showstopper. He knows where the positioning is. Spike in his hand.
1,5 triệu YouTube cần bao nhiêu á? 1,5 triệu thì YouTube cần tầm 5 lốp. Chung là nha, map này nhá. Uy tín chưa em Hùng? Uy tín chưa? Đối với YouTube lấy 30%. Còn YouTube lấy 30%, còn 70% sẽ chuyển về cho bên cái lộn đấy nhờ. Mình ở trong network gì nhờ? Network chuyển lại cho mình bao nhiêu thì mình chả vào mình để ý được, mình chả vào mình check được. Map này nhá, nếu mà anh em muốn bắn map này nhá, mình nghĩ nhá, vứt con mẹ con dẹt đi. Race, Bridge, Omen, Killjoy. Còn con thứ 5 thì tùy các bạn. Sage không phải là một sự lựa chọn tồi. Keio không phải là một sự lựa chọn tồi. Viper không phải là sự lựa chọn tồi. Vứt mẹ con Fate luôn đi, vứt mẹ con Sova luôn đi. Mình nói thật luôn nhá, map này nó giống như kiểu Split ấy. Đéo cần mấy con Sova Fate phụng đâu. Sky không phải là một sự lựa chọn tồi. Chamber thì lại có hai Sentinel, đéo có đồ để retake. Harbor á, em không lấy Omen map này thì em hơi sai. Map này không lấy Omen thì hơi sai. anh bảo em vào trong custom, em nhìn đi mẹ cái tất cả cái map ấy, em nhìn nhá. Nó sẽ có những cái chỗ nhá mà con Omen nó ném một flash một đường thẳng luôn, thẳng vãi lồn, thẳng tắp luôn. Từ B ném flash sang C, từ B ném flash sang A, từ A ném flash sang B, từ C ném flash sang B. Em sẽ nhìn đấy. Đấy là vì sao những con như kiểu Breach và Omen nó mạnh ở map này. Nó giống như kiểu map split ấy. Con Breach mà đứng ở ven nhá, stun A main, stun B main, stun mid, đường nào để đi. Lại còn nhiều, map này lại còn nhiều one way cơ. One way nhiều vãi lồn luôn cơ. Ôi, ấm áp rồi nhá. Vãi lồn. Mày dự đoán làm sao mà sai được. Nghỉ thôi nhỉ. Chờ đến game 2 lâu lắm, bây giờ 3 rưỡi mẹ rồi. Vậy chắc phải 4 giờ lại bắn. Hello. See you. Lại ăn quả bet à? Không, Công Anh không bet. Trận sau cũng hay đấy, mình nghĩ trận sau sẽ hay hơn. Có thể là như thế, tại mình nhìn trận sau trông có vẻ là sẽ cân hơn. Mình thấy mọi người bảo là Foot là một team mạnh, cái bọn FUT đấy là một team mạnh, nhưng mà mình chưa bao giờ nhìn thấy bắn như nào á, nên là mình không biết nữa. Nhưng mà AQ thì cũng kiểu tầm trung trung ấy, nên là cũng không biết đâu. Mr. Falling. Emoji. Wow, thay đúng thằng à? Mẹ team vào franchise thay đúng một thằng luôn. Mẹ team này cũng uy tín đấy chứ. Thường là team nào mà vào franchise ấy, người ta sẽ thường kích hết. Người ta build lại từ đầu. Nhưng mà giữ nguyên đội hình nha là hơi bị uy tín đấy. Là mẹ tổ chức là hơi bị nice đấy. Nếu Blitz bắn thì anh tính được vào đến đâu ạ? Nếu mà Blitz bắn mà bắn ở bảng đầu tiên ấy thì chờ chắc là đang trên máy bay đi về rồi. À không, mình nghĩ là về đến nơi rồi. Blitz nó không mạnh như anh em nghĩ như thế đâu. Đến mình ở trong team mình nói thẳng với anh em thế. Nhiều khi mình bực mình vãi lồn đấy, nhưng mà chịu thôi. Không nên nói nhiều quá, nó mất đoàn kết team. Bảng nào cũng thế là team này nó còn nhiều vấn đề phải địt mẹ mày ấy lắm. Nó không phải đến vấn đề về trong game mà kiểu vấn đề về địt mẹ ý thức kiểu vậy. What? Phút 2.7. Team này trông biết nữa. Mình nghĩ đây sẽ là 2-1 hoặc là 1-2, 2-1 hoặc 1-2, nói chung là trận này chắc ta sẽ đi đến map 3. Không phải đó, nói chung là nó nhiều vấn đề lắm anh em ạ. Nhiều cái nói nó không hay. Mình chỉ nói cho mọi người biết là Blitz nó không mạnh đến như mọi người nghĩ thôi. Và đi mẹ mình đang đi ra đóng cửa phòng đây. kiểu ấy, chúng nó bảo là kiểu khi mình ngồi chơi ấy, mình ngồi điều hòa lạnh ấy, chúng nó không chịu được ấy. Thì đi mẹ mấy lúc chúng nó ngồi thì mình cũng có bật lạnh đâu, mình cho chúng nó chọn mà. Nhưng mà lúc mà chúng nó không ngồi nữa thì đi mẹ mày làm ơn đóng cái cửa phòng vào. Sentinel Fnatic. Fnatic ở trông tín này, Sentinel này nhìn cũng tín cơ. Anh em đừng đánh giá thấp Sentinel này mạnh đấy. Sentinel này mạnh đấy. T1 này á, mình bảo T1 này ấy, vứt mẹ đi. Thật, T1 này vứt con mẹ đi. Thằng này được, thằng này được, thằng này được, hai thằng này vứt đi. Thằng này được chứ quên. Thằng này được chứ, thằng này chứ. Thằng này vứt mẹ đi, thật. Đéo hiểu. Thằng này như mình nhớ, hình như mình bắn tập với chúng nó 4 map, nó bắn được hay đúng một map hay sao ấy. Thằng này trông đéo được đâu. Thằng này nhá. Thằng này địt mày 4 map scream, 2 ngày scream 4 map. Map đầu tiên là bắn Phoenix 30 mạng. 3 game sau là bắn đéo lên 10 mạng. Furia trừ 1,5. RRQ á, cũng được đấy Khoa. Rồi, chính thức off stream. Hẹn gặp anh em vào ngày mai. Cảm ơn tất cả anh em nào đã donate, đã like và đã xem ủng hộ. Hẹn gặp anh em vào ngày mai. Chúng ta sẽ có trận đấu thú vị hơn. Sentinel, Fnatic, các thứ. Ai da. Good night guys. Bye bye.